key values are going to be developed and inculcated in this conference. So what we're seeking to do is to bring these values to the society in a way that they can understand and relate to, so that the society can begin to walk and move and function in the way that God wants us to. And in so doing, we are broadening our opportunity and scope of evangelism. We're hoping to reach folks right where they are. And so by incorporating kingdom principles, you'll find out, listen, you can have success. You can be blessed. God wants you to be blessed. God wants you to prosper. God wants you to prosper even as your soul prospers. You will find that you are walking a path that will lead to salvation in so many areas. Not only salvation for your soul, salvation for your mind, but salvation for your leadership, the way that you lead people, the way that you lead the organization where you are placed. And this, we believe, will impact the nation in a positive way. And I firmly believe that is why we, as the Church of God of Prophecy, have been in the Bahamas for over 100 years, some 116 going on 117 years. There is a reason why God has allowed us to continue and to exist. He wants us to impact the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And this conference represents just an avenue, an additional avenue to add to what we've been doing all along, Amen. To allow God's principles found in Scripture to be inculcated into the society.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop, for those final words. And we thank you for joining us tonight on Lifeline. Please be a part of the Bahamas Empowerment Conference. It is slated for March 11th through the 15th, and it's going to be partly at Bahama. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be exciting. It's a hybrid that you just can't miss. I'm Minister Graham McKinney. Thank you for joining us tonight on Lifeline.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminy Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Monday never felt this good. It's February 23rd, and you're watching What's Trending, and I'm Jiminy Swain, ready to start the week with music, culture, and full-on Bahamian energy. And speaking of energy, imagine 6 islands, 50 global wedding professionals, one unforgettable love story. From the Bahamas with Love returns this February, where culture meets coastline and partnerships are built as beautifully as the weddings themselves. Plus, we step inside one of the most talked about dining experiences at Bahama. It's intimate, intentional, and redefines what service really means. Trust us. This was not just dinner. And before we go, the royal drama, relationship chaos, and another possible baby on the way for an A-list star. The Bahama Beauty has all the juicy details on What's the Buzz. More fun and surprises right here on What's Trending after the break.
With the arrival of America American Airlines' inaugural flight from Miami, Florida to Bimini. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, as well as Managing Director of Operations at American Airlines, Jose Maria Geraldo, celebrated the beginning of this newest non-stop service.
Bimini has long been a significant part of our tourism offering. Bimini has always done exceedingly well with ferries and seaplanes and connections through Nassau. And today we are expanding and complementing the connectivity with this new American Airlines service to Bimini. 3 times a week, roughly 30 minutes or less to Bimini from Miami. This new service, operated an Embraer 175 aircraft, offers 76 seats, as I've mentioned, arriving on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, providing visitors with a seamless short trip from the hub of Miami to Bimini, the gateway to our beautiful archipelago. Let me just say that this is a significant opportunity for us to continue to expand our tourism stopover product. And let's make no mistake, this deliberate approach underscores the Bahamas' repositioning Bimini as a premium and easily accessible destination by pairing this new airlift with modernized airport infrastructure.
Today, we're thrilled to further strengthen our commitment to the Bahamas, a country that we have served for more than 35 years, and we are proud to lead as the largest U.S. airline in the country. With this new route from Miami, which will operate 3 times a week on an Embraer 175, we will open the doors of Bimini to our customers around the world, playing a vital role in further promoting the country's tourism industry.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
From February 26th to March 2nd, 50 international wedding professionals are setting off on an incredible 5-day, 6-island adventure with From the Bahamas with Love.
I love you.
They're experiencing the culture, people, and jaw-dropping landscapes that make the Bahamas the ultimate destination for romance. Joining us now is the General Manager of Romance and Celebrations, Vandia Sands, to talk about this amazing journey. Vandia, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you for having me, Jimenita.
It's so great to have you here with us. So tell us, how does being on the ground basically change the design and wedding recommendations that you offer to clients?
I must say we have a pretty busy month of February. We have a robust schedule of activities, starting with our Romance Week that was held February 8 to 14. That was our consumer-facing type of initiatives where we would have launched our email marketing campaign to our consumer database to promote special offers, deals, and packages that the destination has to offer. Nassau Paradise Island, Grand Bahama Island, and the Out Island properties. We would have partnered with Grand Hyatt who offered a 4-day, 3-night stay giveaway, Dolphin Encounters, Majestic Tours, and Viva Wyndham in Grand Bahama. So it's a pretty busy week because we're gearing up for the From the Bahamas with Love, which is our signature immersive event, 5-day event where we will host 52. We've had two additional. Yes, 2 additional who were added, and with that we're hosting international certified wedding planners and travel advisors who are traveling from key source markets, United States, Canada, Latin American markets, specifically Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Mexico, Italy, France, and for the first time we are going to be hosting 11 Bahamian wedding planners. So to give them an opportunity to
what are going to be some of the experiences these guests tend to feel, like you say, 6 islands, 52 of them now. So what is that going to look like?
Okay, so this year we want to position our destination beyond the aisle, so promoting romance travel beyond the weddings and honeymoons and being able to give the planners an opportunity to experience the destination. Well, it's just that, celebrating an experience. It's not just a conference. So they will have an opportunity to experience activities like the police pop band, the police marching band. When they travel to the out islands, they will engage with immersive experiences. For example, going to Andros, they will engage in the Androsia Batik Factory. They will do horseback riding in Harbor Island. They would visit the Aberconeem. They will visit Chat and Chill and Exuma. So we want the travel advisors and wedding planners to understand that we're a multi-dimensional destination, and we don't just offer one experience, but they have the opportunity to engage in many more so that they can be confident in selling the destination to their clients.
So you mentioned that you're also including local planners as well. So how important are strong local partnerships when you're creating this seamless destination wedding experience that you are offering to these guests that are coming?
Shipyard is extremely important. We do want our locals to host their weddings and vow renewals and milestone anniversaries in the destination as well, because it just positions us as being strong enough just for our local community. And you know, we want to support the local vendors, being transportation, the florists, photographers, and then also with engaging with the local planners. They become brand ambassadors once they're familiar with the product. So that's what we're excited, you know, for hosting them.
That sounds great. But what would you say sets the Bahamas apart in today's competitive romance market?
Well, I can say one thing. Last year, we won the world's leading wedding destination, which is phenomenal. Amazing. Yeah, we won that prestigious award, and we've only secured that award 3 times prior to last year. So that would have been 2015, 2018, and 2019. So it's really a big deal. And we have several unique selling propositions. Just to name a few top of line, we're easily accessible. We're a multi-island destination. So you have couples who can marry on one island, honeymoon on another, and they can celebrate all forms of celebratory you know, romance travel, whether it's bachelorette party, bachelor parties, vow renewals, gender reveals, baby moons, you name it. We want to position ourselves as the premier destination for all things romance travel. So
beyond this event, how can international planners and Bahamian vendors collaborate even more strategically? We plan to host several more in-destination initiatives just to keep that relationship going and keep the vibe alive. I think it's important to maintain, you know, those international and local relationships within destination. And I can tell you this, with the romance market, it is a lucrative industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and with the planners, they influence multi-million-dollar decisions and bookings annually. So it's very important to collaborate them and connect with them and, you know, just welcome them to our shores. That makes a lot of sense because they are key. Yeah. So after experiencing all of this first time, because this isn't the first time that we're doing this, how will you advocate for the Bahamas differently?
Well, separate and apart from in-destination initiatives, we do plan to engage more with the global wedding destination organizations. One particular, I can say, the Destination Wedding Planners of Congress. They have a conference that's coming up that will be in Macau. So we plan to hit the ground running. Okay. So we will be, you will find us globally.
That sounds like a lot of work, but you're going to get it done. And from your perspective, what moment of this journey would you say inspired you the most, and how does it shape the way you design or you assist in this process of getting people to choose here for their weddings or celebrations, as you spoke to?
I would say the selection process of wedding planners, it's been tedious. And although we only have 52, it sounds like a small group, but the value extends beyond that. And I would say my interaction with some of the meeting planners from the wedding planners from last year, they have such high energy. They ask a lot of questions. And I love that type of engagement because it lets me know and our team know that we're doing a good job and we're staying top of mind. You know, and our idea is we want to be the preferred destination of choice. You know, we want the wedding planners to choose the Bahamas, the islands of the Bahamas, when it comes, you know, to be top of the top of the list for their clients.
And that leads us into the next question.
Yeah.
What truly then would make this destination unforgettable beyond the scenery? As you say, that is what you're aiming for. What would you say captures that?
I would say the immersive experiences. We are planning 3 to 4 immersive experiences per day, starting with the welcome. As the planners land at the airport, they will engage, well, they will be surprised. I don't want to give too much away, but they will be surprised with our activation that will be at the airport. We will have a floral activation there, and they will be greeted with our tourism professionals. And at our welcome reception, they have an opportunity to engage with Bahamian caricature experience, henna, cigar rolling. I did mention the day away. They will be going to Abaco, Andros, Exuma, Harbor Island, Eleuthera, and Grand Bahama Island.
Very busy.
And not only conducting site visits, but they will engage in those immersive experiences. Saturday will be Nassau Paradise Island Day. And that evening, they will engage in immersive experiences. Arlene Nash will be hosting Junkanoo mask making. They will engage with the Bahamian chef at the kitchen at
So it
Bahama.
sounds like a lot that they will be exposed to, that they will make it easier to share more
With their
information
clients.
about this destination with their clients. So that's
Absolutely.
great. That's really, really great. So what an incredible journey celebrating love across the Bahamas. That sounds great. From the culture, obviously our stunning landscapes, and the amazing local professionals. So it's clear why the Bahamas is, of course, the top destination for romance. So we definitely want to say a huge thank you to you, Vanria, for sharing your insights and giving us a glimpse of From the Bahamas with Love, connecting international planners with the destination. So thank you.
Thank you.
Again for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, there's more What's Trending to come. Stay with us.
Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili, garlic and ginger, got many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn down the heat for you. Those pepper wings, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken. So many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken.
Those pepper wings.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC, Bahamas.
Dining experiences feed your appetite. Others feed something deeper. Tucked inside the pulse of Bahama is a space that asks you to slow down, lean in, and experience food as more than flavor. Tonight isn't just about what's on the plate, it's about connection, intention, and the art of hosting done differently.
Food is a conduit for connection. We want people to sit at the table, enjoy each other's company, forget about life outside the restaurant, focus on what's in front of them, and most importantly, allow the servers to take care of them.
You feel the shift the second you walk in. Leola's isn't just another resort concept. It's a sanctuary with edge. The lights are low, the vibe is high, and the buzz of Bahama fades into the background. It's intimate, intentional, and designed to quiet the noise before the first course even lands. I could walk you through the first course myself, but honestly, it's better coming from a man who set the tone for the night. The one who made it clear we weren't here to eat. We were here to surrender to service.
First thing I put down on the table were those winter greens, radicchio, endive, tossed with that truffled Caesar dressing, plenty of Parmesan cheese, that eggplant parmigiano, 100-layer eggplant parm, the polenta with the fricassee of truffled mushrooms. You had the sea bass with the seafood in fregola, or little parsnip puree on the plate. All the antipasti that you had, the Parmesan cheese chunked up with traditional balsamic vinegar over the top, chunks of mortadella, salume, caponata. I mean, what wasn't on your table? I think it's easier to list what wasn't on your table.
The key to longevity? Evolution. And this season, the menu leans into transformation, new textures, new pairing, and a rhythm that feels distinctly spring. It's not just a refresh, it's a reset, and the chef behind the shift explains what's new.
So we have a beautiful tuna crudo with Castelvetrano olives and pistachios and a little bit of lemon zest, great olio nuovo, fresh oil, olive oil from Italy. This beautiful bistecca on the bone, slow roasted, so it's beautiful, medium rare every time it comes out. Oh, we have so many fun things. We have this gorgeous local fish, Livornese style, that we're getting from the docks. So comes straight out of the water and it swims right into the back door over here, right into Leola. And we're doing that Livornese style with some baby tomatoes and a little bit of vegetables and some galleta olives as well. What else are we doing? We're doing a beautiful gnocchi with shrimp in andouille. Andouille is a spicy Calabrian sausage. And so we're doing the shrimp and the gnocchi together with that, which is a showstopper.
If you know, you know. And if you don't, it's time. Leola's isn't just trending, it's setting the standard. Secure your reservation. For What's Trending, I'm Wes Collins-Forbes.
Well, thanks, Wes. Coming up, arrest allegations and a royal name back in the spotlight. What's the Buzz is back, and boy, does the Bahama Beauty got news for you. Stay with us.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
It's 242 Day. Proud to be Bahamian. February 24th, 242 Day. Represent your Bahamian pride on 242 Day. Wear your national flag colors or Bahamian prints. Enjoy delicious Bahamian dishes, rake and scrape with Bahamian music, art, and entertainment all day long. Corporate Bahamas, representing your national colors. Be sure to post those photos with hashtag 242 Day. Hashtag Celebrate Bahamas. 242 Day, February 24th.
Oh, isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? Ah, you haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas, where we help you to build beautiful. When it comes to outfitting your new home with beautiful architectural products, we represent prestigious brands such as PGT, Gelwin, Steelcraft, and Overhead Door. If you're looking for new windows or doors custom made for your new house, be sure to email us at sales@cbsbahamas.com.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
Buckle up in your front row seat to all the drama, the tea, and the moments everybody's talking about. The Bahama Beauty is here to fill us in on it all.
I'm the Bahama Beauty, and here's What's the Buzz for this week. Royal drama is back in the headlines. Former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was reportedly arrested for suspicion of misconduct in public office in connection with investigations linked to Jeffrey Epstein. The connection, which got him stripped of his royal title back in October. The controversy surrounding their association has been making headlines for years, but this latest development is putting the spotlight right back on the Duke of York, prompting discussions of having him removed from royal succession. Mountbatten Windsor was released without charge after spending 11 hours in custody. However, he's still under investigation. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is trending, but not for what he's doing on the field. Instead, it's his personal life that has social media in a frenzy. His current girlfriend, reality TV star Anna Mack, and ex Olivia Brown have found themselves in a very public online back and forth. The drama came to a head when Olivia posted this video to her TikTok page directly addressing Anna after writing a very shady caption on her TikTok video.
Why would I want to keep a man that was cheating on me with you? You were the known side girl and you're engaged now. Why would I want that? Please leave me alone, because if I said some things about that particular ring and some things in general, bubbles would be bursted. But we're not even gonna go there, because after this is done.
Anna then went on a tirade claiming that contrary to Olivia's story, the two were already broken up before she came into the picture. Olivia had no further comments since her video, which now sits at 3 million views on TikTok. And speaking of the internet, fans are on high alert after a video of Rihanna at her birthday celebration started making the rounds online. In the clip, many notice what appears to be a slight baby bump, sparking speculation that she might be expecting again. Now, nothing has been confirmed, but this is Rihanna we're talking about. She's known for making major announcements on her own terms, and often when the world least expects it. So for now, fans are watching closely to see if it's just a postpartum bump or another heir to the Fenty dynasty. Meanwhile, this pregnancy comes with much less suspicion. Rapper Blueface took to Twitch to share that his girlfriend, Nevaeh, is pregnant. And in true internet fashion, he didn't just say it, he showed it, displaying a positive pregnancy test on camera for everyone to see. The reaction online? A mix of surprise, skepticism, and a whole lot of commentary. We're just all hoping this co-parenting situation turns out a lot more civil than the other two. Despite the internet trolls constantly clowning her, boxing champion Claressa Shields showed us that when she steps into the ring, it ain't no laughing matter. Shields delivered a dominant performance against Franchon Cruz Dezern, showcasing her power, precision, and why she remains one of the most formidable names in the sport. With this win under her belt, Shields remains the undisputed heavyweight champion, moving to a compelling 18-0 record. From start to finish, it was a statement win, the kind that reminds everyone exactly who they're dealing with. Focused, fearless, and fully in control.
Rosa Ocean, the new fragrance by Prada.
Available at Lorix Duty Free, Bay and Parliament, Old Fort Bay, Marathon Mall and Palm Bay.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
It's 242 Day tomorrow, February 24th. Celebrate Bahamian pride by wearing your national colors or your favorite island prints. Indulge in authentic Bahamian flavors, move to the rhythm of local music, and experience the beauty of our art and culture. Don't forget to share your photos using the hashtag 242Day and keep that pride flowing into the evening. And if you're repping 242, you better be outside. Pull up to 700 Wines and Spirits JFK store from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. for a down-home block party done the Bahamian way. We're talking vibes by DJ Pressure, a live performance from Johnny Cake, and yes, Ice Cold Collect 2 for $4.55 specials all evening long. Rep the Bahamas, bring your crew, catch a vibe. This is 242 Day celebrated in the Kalik way. Oh, we're celebrating the 242 in a big way as we welcome the 2025 Boxing Day and 2026 New Year's Day Junkanoo champions. And you already know, when one family pull up, they bring in all that sweet Junkanoo music with them. You don't want to miss this performance. Well, thanks for watching. Stay connected with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Bring one bacon to me, 700, got the new 16-ounce Kalik bacon energy. But that's more refreshment and vibes you could enjoy in a larger tray. 2 for $5, that mean one's for you.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. CEO of Lucayan Resort, Concord Wilshire Group, breaking his silence over the Grand Lucayan deal, reaffirming that it is moving forward. Also, GBPA Workers Union President pushing back against Shipyard CEO claims of a skills gap and labor shortage. And the man police believe is responsible for GBPC bomb threat arraigned in court.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, CEO of Lucayan Resort, Concord Wilshire Group, breaking his silence tonight on the status of the Grand Lucayan deal. In a press statement responding to claims that the agreement has collapsed, the CEO says the project is in fact moving forward. The statement further reveals that within weeks, the company expects to make 2 major announcements. The update comes in line with earlier comments from the Prime Minister regarding progress on the long-anticipated redevelopment. Our Raven Davis joins us live now from Grand Lucayan with the latest. Raven.
Well, after months of questions and growing skepticism, Concord Wilshire Group is forcefully pushing back. The developer says an earlier Eyewitness News report suggesting that the proposed $120 million acquisition and redevelopment of this beleaguered Grand Lucayan Resort property has been dead for months is simply not true. In fact, the company releasing a press statement earlier today saying that discussions with the Bahamas government remain active and ongoing. The company says those talks are centered on a shared goal, revitalizing what it calls a critical asset for Grand Bahama and strengthening the broader Bahamian economy. CEO Richard Bosworth says redevelopment efforts are moving forward. He also thanked the Office of the Prime Minister for what he described as a clarification, disputing what both the government and the developers say were inaccurate reports. Concord Wilshire further confirms that within the next 2 weeks, it expects to formally announce the commencement of development and construction activities. That includes 2 major cruise line destination resorts, along with an official start date for demolition and preparatory site work. Still on the ground in Grand Bahama, residents are cautiously optimistic, hopeful this long-anticipated deal could finally become the catalyst for economic revival. But many say they are taking a wait-and-see approach.
I feel excellent. That's great news for Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama was stagnated too long, and everybody will survive from that.
If the deal happens to go through, it'll be all right, you know what I mean? Because we need jobs in Grand Bahama, and that's what all I can say. We need the jobs, really. If we could get off the go, it'll be great for Grand Bahamians.
In my opinion, it's about time, because when it was first announced, you always heard that it was concrete. Then they put out a little fake demolition, knock out the building, and go on and close it back. So once you make that kind of position, it causes people to be skeptical. So hopefully now, if this is really coming down to being concrete, at least it can give the people some hope.
We need action. Action. Real action. We need to see the proof in the pudding.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis was on island earlier this month for the Grand Bahama Business Outlook, where he reaffirmed the government's commitment to seeing the Grand Lucayan returned to full operation.
In May 2025, heads of agreement was signed with Concord Wilshire Group. Since then, the government and developer have been working to secure the right branding partners and to remediate serious moral issues that could have compromised the entire transactions. Our aim, though, is a functioning, viable resort that creates jobs and confidence, and we will deliver.
Now, as negotiations continue, officials say the remaining nearly 300 Grand Lucayan Resort employees are set to be made redundant, with the final round of benefits to be issued by this Friday. Reporting live from the Grand Lucayan Resort for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you in studio, Ramiko.
Thanks so much, Raven. Well, in other news, tensions are rising over hiring practices at the Grand Bahama Shipyard as Maybelle Bridgewater, president of the Grand Bahama Port Authority Workers Union, pushes back against claims of a skills gap among Bahamian workers. She says qualified Bahamians are being overlooked for jobs, raising concerns about safety training and the growing reliance on foreign labor. Our Shalia Roll joins us with more in this report.
Bahama Port Authority's Workers Union president says she was taken aback by comments made by the Grand Bahama Shipyard CEO at a recent business outlook pertaining to a labor shortage on a skills gap on the island. Maybelle Bridgewater asserts that the union has repeatedly submitted resumes of previously redundant workers and other qualified Bahamians ready to enter the field. However, she says many of those applications are denied, while expatriate workers are brought in to fill the position.
The shipyard is really challenged in sourcing certified, trained, and experienced personnel to support our customers and their expectations.
Those remarks are being refuted by Grand Bahama Port Authority Workers Union President Maybelle Bridgewater, who asserts that Grand Bahama has adequate skilled laborers, but questions whether the shipyard is prioritizing local talent or foreign workers.
Even though we're not saying we don't accept diversity or expats coming in, we just wanted them to look locally and search locally first before inviting them in to the country in order to work.
Another major concern raised by the union is safety. The Grand Bahama Port Authority Workers Union president says some expat workers may not be fully proficient in English, creating language barriers when carrying out critical and potentially life-threatening tasks.
We're going to have a Bahamian employee just then on a high tower crane and an expat at the bottom who's supposed to be monitoring what's going down on the ground or what they're doing. How can you even relate because they can't speak English?
Bridgewater asserts that when foreign employees are brought to the island, the Grand Bahama Shipyard is expected to cover rent, utilities, food, and transportation, in addition to their salaries. She adds that training opportunities already exist on the island through local companies and says Bahamians can be properly qualified to fill these positions.
The majority of expats that he's bringing in, wouldn't it be cheaper just to invest in our apprentices because that is more long-term than short-term?
And for young Bahamians who may feel discouraged by the alleged overhiring of expatriate workers, the union president says the organization is actively advocating to ensure more Bahamians are placed in these jobs.
So I just want them to stay encouraged and let them know the Grand Bahama Port Authority Union, along with the Labor Board, we are fighting on their behalf. It's not easy, but it's happening.
The union says it will continue advocating for greater opportunities for qualified Bahamians while calling for dialogue with stakeholders to address the labor issue. This is a story that we will continue to follow. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
Thanks, Shalia. Well, meantime, a Florida-based company is reportedly in talks with the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority to develop a nearly 60-acre stone crab farm in Grand Bahama, a proposal now igniting strong concern from a local vendor. Matthew Martinborough shares more details in this report.
A Florida-based company is reportedly in discussions with the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority to develop a nearly 60-acre stone crab farm, a move that could potentially dominate the Northern Bahamas' second most profitable marine product. 17-year veteran fisherman artist Curtin Neely, who attended a private stakeholder meeting with a representative of the international company, is expressing concerns about potential market oversaturation.
I told them emphatically that I was not interested, and I don't think that anyone in the fishing industry would be interested in someone coming into the Bahamas with a stone crab farm that would produce anywhere from 3 to 6 million pounds of crab a year to put into the same markets that we sell. That pretty much wipe out the need of fishermen or processing plants.
Neely questions why the company would choose the Bahamas over its home state of Florida, given the similarities in marine life and climate.
Why leave Florida? Why not go to Key West? Why not go to the west coast of Florida? But you come to the Bahamas where you figure you could dangle a carrot in front of some desperate Bahamians or who you assume to be desperate and other things, and figure that we're going to bite. But we understand our resources, we understand the value, and we're not going to sell out to any foreign entity.
According to Neely, strong opposition to the proposal stems from fears that it could lead to losses nearly triple the current value of stone crab earnings. While that may benefit consumers, he argues it could negatively impact local operations.
So you're talking to fishermen that would probably get $18 per pound across the board now on stone crab. If we allow something like that to happen, that would become a $6 or $7 item. That would not even be able to pay the cost of operation. They put the guys out of business within a season or less.
Strongly opposing the proposal, Neely is questioning what it could mean for the future of Bahamian fishermen in local waters.
Today, crab, tomorrow, lobster. How do you stop it? Why do you even want to entertain it? Why do you want to open the door for it?
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Switching gears now, a man accused of making a threat that caused widespread public concern appeared in court today as authorities continue their investigation into the serious incident. The accused was formally arraigned before a magistrate, where the charge was read in open court. Our Jolanda Thompson-Everest was there for the proceedings and filed this report.
It was a call that shocked the Grand Bahama community and Grand Bahama Island without electricity for hours. Police say a bomb threat made to the Grand Bahama Power Company has landed 32-year-old Ezra Green behind bars. He was arraigned here at the Magistrates Court on Monday morning. Inside the court, there was a tense atmosphere as Green sat in the front row waiting to learn his fate. His wife sat in support while two residents quietly observed from the back of the courtroom. Magistrate Ewell Johnson, who is overseeing the matter, called Green's docket and read the charge before the court. Green is accused of sending an email on Thursday, February 19th, while in Freeport, Grand Bahama, claiming that a bomb had been placed at a location with the intent to cause fear and threaten unlawful harm. When asked his plea, Green pleaded not guilty to the charge. The prosecution then requested that the court order Green to have no contact with any witnesses in the case. The court heard that he works at the same establishment as some of those witnesses. Although raising that concern, the prosecution did not object to bail being granted. Green was present without a lawyer and was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 with two short orders. The trial is set to begin on May 21st, 2026. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Thanks, Yolanda. Well, the future site of Pinder's Point Township office was vandalized this past Friday. The local government representatives for the area says the facility is expected to improve community access to key public services and is now reacting to the incident. Sherelle Dames has more on this story.
Days after the break-in, the hole above the door frame where thieves broke in has been covered. But local government officials says though there was some damage done that may slow down the process, it will not change the purpose behind the project.
From the beginning, like 4 years ago, we had this dream, we had this vision for this, for the entire property, as a matter of fact. But right now, we settling for this one structure, and we want to have our office. We want to have town hall meetings. We also look forward for like NIB for the seniors who can't make it up Freeport, who can just come here and verify.
Deputy Chairman Benedict Russell was first on the scene, and he describes what he found, also stating that this is not a first-time occurrence.
When I open the door, I look and I see things as out of place. And immediately, I could identify that someone had came and did some vandalism. They came in one time, and they put a hole in the rock sheet. But we didn't take nothing to it, but they came back the second time and they did this.
Now police says that the matter is still under investigation, and they encourage persons to consider installing surveillance cameras to help deter this kind of activity. Meanwhile, Chief Counselor for the area, Nakia Hunt, says the incident won't stop the momentum behind the project.
When there's progress, you will always have stumbling blocks. So I don't look at it as a major, issue for us, because no matter what we're going to push, we're going to keep pushing.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Heading into news from the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama are investigating two separate dog attack incidents reported over the weekend, which resulted in two adult males seeking medical attention. The first incident was reported around 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, when a male complainant told police that while jogging along Seahorse Road, he was attacked and bitten on the leg by a pit bull. The victim sustained injuries and was advised to seek medical attention. Then, the second incident was reported at 10 a.m. on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. A male complainant stated that sometime around 3 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st, 2026, while on Hearn Lane, he was attacked and bitten on the back of his leg by a black and brown dog. The victim sustained injuries and was likewise advised to seek medical attention. Investigations into both matters are ongoing.
And still to come.
The Reach Out Youth Ministries spread joy across East Grand Bahama, reminding families they are not forgotten with an annual giveaway. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Welcome to Cornet, Bahamas, where love begins at the door. For the entire month of February, you can enjoy 25% off of our doors, flooring, and tiles. Because our love truly goes beyond the door. Whether you're building, renovating, or simply upgrading your space, we're here to guide you every step of the way. On behalf of Cornet, Bahamas, I can't wait to help you find the perfect fit.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
A Royal Caribbean representative will be hosting a two-day hiring event in Freeport, and there will be a job fair on Thursday, February 26th from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also on Friday, February 27th, a swim test at the YMCA from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Visit rcgcareers.com to apply. Do It Center is doing it again. Our end-of-month sale happens this Friday, February 27th and Saturday, February 28th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy 20% off store-wide. Visit us today at the Del's Auto Product Complex, formerly Gold Rock Corp. Do It Center, where we help you get it done.
Flamingo Bahamas members can now enjoy a 10% discount while shopping at Save More. Download the Flamingo Bahamas app for $9.99 for a one-month subscription and enjoy unlimited savings at Save More and other businesses on Grand Bahama.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It may be months behind its original scheduled date, but bringing joy and festive cheer to the East this past weekend was Reach Out Youth Ministries with their annual Christmas giveaway. Despite the delay, children and families in East Grand Bahama, including Sweetings Key, were reminded that they are not forgotten as laughter, games, and smiles fill the day. Here's Yolanda Thompson-Everest with that report.
It was a playful day in the East on Saturday, February 21st, as Reach Out Youth Ministries hosted their annual Christmas giveaway, originally slated for January but postponed to February due to unforeseen circumstances. Children from across East Grand Bahama, including Sweetens Key, gathered at the McLeanstown dock, where they enjoyed candies, games, and toys, as organizers reminded families they have not been forgotten. The event also provided groceries and essential items to help families start the new year on a bright note. Dudley Said, founder of Reach Out Youth Ministries, said despite the delay, the mission remained the same: to show love and continued support to those in the East and ensure no child felt overlooked at the start of the year.
So today, we were giving them hot dogs. We have grocery packages and also toys for the kids in this community. It's going to take everybody to make a difference in Grand Bahama, but I think it's much more special when we come in this area was devastated by the hurricane. That's why I'll do anything to continue to come back to assist this area.
Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, describes Dudley Said as a man with a generous spirit and a giving heart. Thompson also contributed groceries to the donation, noting that many families in the area are still facing hardships.
The reality is there are folks who are struggling with the cost of living. And so we have to do all that we can to help when it comes to assisting with the cost of living.
Margaret Lethan speaking to the impact of Reach Out Youth Ministries, noting that this ongoing support is vital for the children in the East.
It's just a giveaway and it's good for the community, as always, as the 4 years that we have been here at this industry.
Now, candidate for East Grand Bahama for the Progressive Liberal Party, Monique Pratt, also assisted with donations for the event as organizers hailed the initiative a success. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson-Everest.
What a joy. It's now time for your Health is Wealth Monday Tip.
February's
recognized as Heart Health Month, and many of us participate in the Go Red for Women campaign promoting heart health for women. Heart disease remains the #1 killer in the Bahamas for both men and women. But one reason we try to raise awareness, is particularly in women, is because symptoms may be different, and they may not experience the so-called typical symptoms like chest pain, left arm pain, or shortness of breath. Results from a previous U.S. study by the National Institutes of Health suggests that women often have new or different physical symptoms for as long as a month or even longer before experiencing a heart attack. Surprisingly, 40% of women in this study reported that they had no chest pain during any phase of their heart attack. If you or someone you know is experiencing symptoms suggestive of a heart attack, please call 919 or to the nearest emergency room immediately. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and remember, your greatest wealth is your health.
We salute our Facebook friend of the day, Adrian Gilbert. Thank you so much for your support and hope that you enjoyed your day. And that's a look at stories making news. Shane, what's happening in sports?
It's one of the most exciting times of the year. The Hugh Gamble Championship takes place tonight, Freeport versus Nassau. I can't wait to see it.
Who the school is?
St. George's, C.I. Gibson.
Jaguars, there you go. We're coming, baby. That's coming up next. Stay tuned. Sports is up next after the break.
Yep.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Division of Cultural Affairs presents the 2026 Junior Junkanoo Grand Bahama Parade, powered by the City of Freeport Council. Saturday, February 28, 2026 at 6 p.m. West Explorers Way, downtown Freeport is where you need to be to catch the 2026 Junior Junkanoo Grand Bahama Parade. See you there.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubb. The St. George's Jaguars will be back under the bright lights of the Hugh Gamble Championship tonight after bouncing the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves 71-45 in Sunday's semifinals.
We're excited to be in the finals. This will be our second time ever in the finals. We were there in 2019 with that memorable game of that double overtime against Doris Johnson. And that loss propelled us to win the national championship that year. So hopefully, like I said, this year will be the year that we could put it all together and take it home, and we're just excited to be there. We still carry that pain, and what we try to is remind them, and some of former players who are in the group, we all in the group together, and they remind them about where we were at, and this is an opportunity that we can try to do it this time, and we're excited about the opportunity.
They'll take on last year's runner-up in the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. As for high flyer Mackay Nesbitt, he understands how important tonight's matchup is.
They mean the world. They mean just the whole St. George's country, man. The whole Jaguar country, mean the world.
The title game airs live tonight at 9, live on the ZNS Network. Meanwhile, a number of track athletes coming away with top finishes at the Speed Capital meet over in Miramar, Florida. For Grand Bahama Heats Athletics, Avante Lotmore secured gold and bronze medals in the 100 and 200 meters. Simone Martin also coming away with gold and bronze in the 100 and 200 meters. Zara Nesbitt picked up gold in the 800 meters while also coming away as the silver medalist in the high jump. Gianna Colley would finish in the top 3 of the 400 meters to take bronze. As for speed begins, Kiesha Thomas coasted to wins in the 400 and 100 meters. And for Golden Eagles, Leandre Hall won gold in the open men's 400 and bronze in the 200. Kaylin Johnson was your gold medalist in the javelin throw. Zion Bradford came away as double champion in the 200 and 400 and won track MVP. Vershay Forbes is also a double champion in the 100 and 200 events. And young Imari Cooper snagged gold in the 100. And lastly, GB Little League is back in scores from week 1 in 8 and under action. The Red Sox defeated the Lions 4-2. In 10 and under play, the Riviera and Associate Lions defeated the Royals 8-6. In 12 and under play, the Silverline Builders Lions escaped the Tigers 4-3. And over on the 16 and under side, the Lions shut out the Yankees 10-0. Quick correction, it was actually the Jaguars took out the QC Comets to advance to the championship. But that's a look at sports tonight. Your local forecast is straight ahead. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all on the rebound.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Your #1 team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the north. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
Every second matters. Every possession counts. The road to glory begins here. Tune into live coverage of the 2026 Hugh Campbell Basketball Championship, Monday, February 23rd at 9 p.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network and streaming on our YouTube and Facebook platforms.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! With it first, stop! You don't like basketball!
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, developers behind the big-wig Grand Lucayan redevelopment refute claims of a collapsed deal. Plus, cartel violence triggers a local travel advisory to Mexico. And the Bahamas accepts a nearly $900,000 gift from the United States aimed at putting a deeper dent in the illicit drug trade. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Despite the scare, travelers at the Lyndon Pinley International Airport have nothing to fear, despite concerns that a major service may be suspended. Fern Carey tells us more in this report.
Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Tessa Cooper, assuring travelers that pre-clearance remains operational at the Lynden Pilning International Airport. This after the U.S. Department of Homeland Security reversed its decision on Sunday to suspend the service due to a partial U.S. government shutdown, a move that would have impacted millions of airport travelers due to the slowdown in security processing. The Deputy Prime Minister said there are no issues with pre-clearance at LPIA, and he cited the strong partnership the Bahamas has with the United States.
The pre-clearance is in place. There's never been any attempt to suspend that. There are apparently issues going on in the U.S. Where there are partial government shutdowns, etc. That has implications for funding of these projects abroad, and therefore they have had to scale back in some countries. We have a great partnership with the USA. Most of our tourists come from USA. We share a border with them. We actively collaborate on law enforcement and on other issues, and we anticipate that this relationship will continue to be positive.
In light of that initial announcement, the Lynden Pilning International Airport issued a flyer over the weekend urging travelers to arrive at the airport 3 to 4 hours ahead of time. While U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, and eligible visitors were asked to download the mobile passport control to speed up processing at U.S. Customs and Border Control pre-clearance. Meantime, the tourism minister said the pre-clearance program at the country's largest international gateway will continue normal operations.
No doubt once their issues are resolved as it relates to their internal partial government shutdown, everything will return to normal. But suffice to say, there's no issue with pre-clearance at this time.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, thanks, Fern. In related news, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issuing a travel advisory for Mexico, urging Bahamians in several affected areas to immediately seek shelter. Now, the advisory coming amid ongoing security operations linked to criminal activity. While airports remain open, roadblocks have disrupted airline operations, with most domestic and international flights canceled in Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. Bahamians are advised to follow guidance from local authorities, avoid unnecessary movement, and monitor road conditions through Mexico's system. Anyone experiencing a consular emergency is urged to contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. While allegations of a police officer planting drugs during a Carmichael Road raid are drawing sharp pushback from National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, who says body cam footage tells a different story. Our Leah Cooper has the details. We do apologize for that report, but the police force commissions a new drug incinerator. Meantime, safe boat lifts and scanners made possible through a donation from the United States Embassy. The equipment's to be used to safely and efficiently destroy seized narcotics, strengthening the country's fight against illegal drug trafficking, and enhance marine operations, improving the force's ability to detect illicit goods at ports of entry. The National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, was grateful.
These crime-fighting assets, valued at approximately $900,000, it's not an assistance package. It is really an investment portfolio, and the dividend it pays is the advancement of mutual security.
Now, U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas, Herschel Walker, says the donation reflects the strong partnership between the two countries and their shared commitment to combating transnational crime.
These criminals are sophisticated, well-funded, relentless. Defeating them requires equally sophistications, tools, strong partnership, and unwavering commitment. That's why we're here today. The Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs has worked closely with the Royal Bahamas Police Force to identify critical gaps. Today, we address those gaps with 3 key donations.
Meantime, the RBDF Commodore Floyd Moxey says the force is aware of a video circulating on social media that allegedly shows an altercation involving suspected poachers and individuals believed to be Bahamian nationals. Officials say no formal report of poaching has been received, and the date and time of the video cannot be confirmed. Surveillance conducted on Sunday detected no suspicious vessels in the area. However, the Commodore says it remains on high alert, with one vessel currently deployed on the banks and another en route. National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, also chimes in.
We're investing in platforms, we're investing in technology. But just as a policeman can't be everywhere on the land, the Defense Force can't be everywhere over 180,000 square miles. When something happens, we're encouraging people to make a report. The Defense Force has the 41-foot fast intercept boats that cruise at 40, 50 knots, so can reach cover distance very quickly.
Also making news tonight, CEO of the Grand Lucayan Resort, Concord Wilshire Group's breaking his silence on the status of that multi-million-dollar deal. And this in the face of shocking reports that the agreement has collapsed. As Raven Davis tells us, the CEO says the project is, in fact, moving forward, and that within weeks, the company expects to make two major announcements. Raven?
Well, after months of questions and growing skepticism, Concord Wilshire Group is forcefully pushing back. The developer says an earlier Eyewitness News report claiming that the proposed $120 million acquisition and redevelopment of this beleaguered Grand Lucayan Resort property has been dead for about 4 months is simply not true. Tonight, the company saying through a press release that discussions with the Bahamas government remain active and productive. The company says those talks are centered on a shared goal, revitalizing what it calls a critical asset for Grand Bahama and strengthening the broader Bahamian economy. CEO Richard Bosworth says redevelopment efforts are moving forward. He also thanked the Office of the Prime Minister for what he described as a clarification, disputing what both the government and the developers say were inaccurate reports. Concord Wilshire further confirms that within the next 2 weeks, it expects to formally announce the commencement of development and construction activities. That includes 2 major cruise line destination resorts, along with an official start date for demolition and preparatory site work. Still on the ground in Grand Bahama, residents are cautiously optimistic, hopeful this long-anticipated deal could finally become the catalyst for economic revival. But many say they are taking a wait-and-see approach.
I feel excellent. That's great news for Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama was dated too long, and everybody will survive from that.
If the deal happens to go through, it'll be all right, you know what I mean? Because we need jobs in Grand Bahama, and that's what all I can say. We need the jobs, really. If we could get off the go, it'll be great for Grand Bahamians.
In my opinion, it's about time, because when it was first announced, you always heard that it was concrete. Then they put out a little fake demolition, knock out the building, and go on and close it back. So once you make that kind of position, it causes people to be skeptical. So hopefully now, if this is really coming down to being concrete, at least it can give the people some hope.
We need action. Action. Real action. We need to see the proof in the pudding.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis was on island earlier this month for the Grand Bahama Business Outlook, where he reaffirmed the government's commitment to seeing the Grand Lucayan returned to full operation.
In May 2025, heads of agreement was signed with Concord Wilshire Group. Since then, the government and developer have been working to secure the right branding partners and to remediate serious small issues that could have compromised the entire transactions. Our aim, though, is a functioning, a viable resort that creates jobs and confidence, and we will deliver.
Now, as negotiations continue, officials say the nearly 300 remaining Grand Lucayan Resort employees are set to be made redundant, with the final round of benefits to be issued by this Friday. Reporting live from the Grand Lucayan Resort for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you in studio.
Well, thanks, Raven. We now go back to that report where allegations of a police officer planting drugs during a Carmichael Road raid are drawing sharp pushback from the National Security Minister, who says body cam footage tells a different story. Leah Cooper has the details.
In the wake of allegations that a police officer planted drugs in the backyard of a home during a recent raid off Carmichael Road, National Security Minister the Honorable Wayne Munro is pushing back hard. The controversy erupted 2 weeks ago after a relative of a family arrested in a midnight drug bust claimed an officer dropped drugs in their yard during the search. Security camera footage viewed by ZNS News shows an officer placing an object near a stack of tires. However, it is unclear from the video exactly what that object is. But Minister Munro says there's more to the story according to police body camera footage.
The footage that was shown to me, we were in the North Caribbean Security Fund Summit, showed the officer on his body camera picking it up, looking at it, putting it down to take a photo of it, and I'm advised that the audio showed at that same time one of the gentlemen saying, "That's mine."
Munro says before anyone rushes to judgment, they should consider all the evidence, not just a clip making the rounds on social media.
I'm definitely not going to jump to a conclusion about an officer doing his duty. It is discouraging, and it was discouraging for the young officer who goes out in dangerous circumstances for that to happen. I'm made to understand that he was deeply affected by it.
Minister Munro didn't stop there. He says he has encouraged Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles to support any officer who chooses to take legal action.
The newspapers who published it, the news media who carried it, because that's defaming their character. I don't know if they have done it, but if you defame an officer's character like that, he should receive compensation.
That said, the National Security Minister's advice is to slow down, get the facts, and remember that in the age of viral videos, context still matters. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, coming up, the Prime Minister is off to attend CARICOM. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. That and more news in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Tasty pieces of chicken, thighs, and legs for just $20. Add a large side for $5. This February, love deserves a bucket. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
It's 242 Day. Proud to be Bahamian. February 24th, 242 Day. Represent your Bahamian pride on 242 Day. Wear your national flag colors or Bahamian prints. Enjoy delicious Bahamian dishes, rake and scrape with Bahamian music, art, and entertainment all day long. Corporate Bahamas, representing your national colors. Be sure to post those photos with hashtag 242 Day. Hashtag Celebrate Bahamas. 242 Day, February 24th.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
You're looking at a shot there of the roundabout connecting JFK Drive, Gladstone Road, and Bahama Boulevard. And that shot courtesy of drone pilot Shane Gibson Jr. Good job there, Shane. Welcome back. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio to attend CARICOM's intercessional meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis, where it's expected that he will reaffirm America's commitment to working with CARICOM member states to enhance stability and prosperity within the hemisphere. Now, those talks will focus on strengthening regional security, deepening cooperation to combat illegal immigration and illicit trafficking, promoting economic growth and health and energy security across the Caribbean. This, of course, in the face of a wave of violence and upheaval in Haiti and more recently, Mexico. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis will be in on those talks. He leaves the country on Tuesday. In other news, the Highway Church of God's 61st convention closing out last evening with a challenge. Addressing the congregation, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis encouraged Bahamians to seek God's guidance in this season and to remember we are all we have. The charge coming as political parties crank up their machineries ahead of the next general election, a showdown that will see the governing Progressive Liberal Party go head-to-head with the Free National Movement and the Coalition of Independence.
In a small country like ours, words travel fast. We can either spend our days tearing each other down, or we can decide to use our words to build people up, even when we disagree. We can choose to look out for the young. When you see them, greet them. Ask how they are doing. Tell them they have worth. Many of them do not hear that enough. We can choose, of course, to protect unity. Unity. Political debates will come and go. Election seasons will come and go. But after every vote is counted, we still have to live together, work together, raise children together, and recover from storms together. Let us argue our ideas strongly, but let us never forget that on the other side of those arguments are fellow Bahamians who love this country too.
Building on that foundation, General Superintendent Bishop Denzel Rowe called on Bahamians not to get stuck on what used to be.
If it was good, forget it. If it was bad, forget it. One of the greatest enemies to your next success is your last success.
Well, by now, you would have all pieced together that the boom you heard last Thursday evening was that of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket booster flying over Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Station to the Exuma Sound. Well, here's Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely Murphy, on the environmental procedure carried out to determine the launch's impact.
Ahead of this exercise, DEPP officers and scientists, as well as third-party scientists, were stationed in South Eleuthera and North Cat Island. These were the areas immediately surrounding where the re-entry of the booster would have occurred. And officers were stationed there to record and monitor the environmental conditions in both the marine and terrestrial environments. Daily assessments were conducted 7 days prior, and these assessments will continue through the end of this week.
From the police, tragedy on the island of Eleuthera, more specifically the quaint settlement of Harbor Island. Officer in charge of the Eleuthera Division, Superintendent Franklin Neely, shares the details of a double homicide.
Based on that information, the officers proceeded in that area, and upon initial investigation, they discovered 2 persons who were shot. Additional information is that patrons were on the outside of this establishment when a male approached wearing all black clothing. He produced a firearm and fired several shots in the directions of the victim. His action resulted in one of the victims being fatally wounded on the scene, while the other was taken to a local clinic where he later succumbed to his injuries. At this time, we are appealing to the decent people of Harbor Island that any information that they may have that could help propel this investigation to come forward. Or you can make contact with CID by phone number 502-9991 or by calling our crime tips number 328-TIPS. I'd also like to assure the residents of Harbor Island, the residents of mainland Eleuthera, as a matter of fact, the residents of the Bahamas, that the police will not stop in their efforts to continue to bring safety to our streets, to ensure that all residents continue to live in peace.
300 electrical contractors meet up for a critical seminar aimed at reinforcing compliance, updating regulations, and addressing ongoing concerns about the country's power sector. Amaya Moss has the story.
For the first time in 12 years, the Bahamas Power and Light Company, alongside with the Ministry of Works, brought electrical contractors together not only for discussion, but to reinforce compliance and address growing concerns within the country's electrical infrastructure. Central to the seminar, the abuse and misuse of electrical supply. Officials acknowledged that unauthorized connections, improper extensions, and non-compliant installations have contributed to the added strain on the national grid. This has created both safety risks and service challenges for communities. Event coordinator and manager of distribution planning at BPL, Robert Turnquest, says the engagement signals a renewed focus on enforcement and compliance.
12 years is a long time, over a decade. So the players have changed. So this seminar will introduce who the electrical contractors should be speaking to here at BPL. It will give us an idea of who they are, and it's a good networking opportunity for all of us.
New rules and regulations were also outlined, particularly concerning underground extensions in residential areas and private developments, where improper planning can result in long-term structural and electrical hazards, with conversations also turning to hurricane preparedness. Participants described the sessions as both informative and timely.
It's very important, especially for the younger persons in the industry to understand the importance of complying with the government regulations and in terms of the electrical code, the electrical specifications.
You have a lot of persons who are functioning and doing stuff, but typically are not really up to date with what is necessary and required. And so this particular forum provides an avenue for them to be able to act and to move in the right vein and in the right timeline.
Officials say continued oversight and education is essential as developments continue to expand across the Family Islands, ensuring that the nation's electrical infrastructure is not only growing, but resilient. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Whether you need life insurance, an endowment plan, or health insurance, BAF has you for all stages of your life.
Welcome to Cornet, Bahamas, where love begins at the door. For the entire month of February, you can enjoy 25% off of our doors, flooring, and tiles. Because our love truly goes beyond the door. Whether you're building, renovating, or simply upgrading your space, we're here to guide you every step of the way. On behalf of Cornet, Bahamas, I can't wait to help you find the perfect fit.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
and spicy. Marinated right, tossed with chili. Garlic and ginger. Got many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings. Turn up the heat for you. Those pepper wings. What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan. Tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Cloud nine, so many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan. Tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper wings.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, Royston and Marlena are going to help us shake off whatever's left of the Monday blues. Tell us, what's coming up in Access Now?
Good evening, official. Of course, I feel like someone's turned down the temperature. It's very, very cold outside. I don't know if you noticed that. Tonight, we're talking Church of God Empowerment Conference. They have a leadership conversation they're going to be talking about in a couple of weeks. We're very excited to sit down with some guests tonight about it.
We've got a really interesting lineup of people who are going to be talking about that bridge between faith and corporate success and seeing how everything fits together.
It sounds good as always. Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
Isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? Ah, you haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
That's it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucayan Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Taking the lead on the latest global campaign, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, as well as Director General Latia Duncombe, brought the islands of the Bahamas to the heart of Washington, D.C.
We're here in D.C., and we've done perhaps 25 cities across the USA and Canada and around the world since we've started this process a few years ago. We're excited to be here because this is an important area for us in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. And the reality is that we have many guests who come from this area to the islands of the Bahamas. They are repeat visitors. Almost 40% come back again and again. And this is exciting for us. We want always to share what's new and exciting about the islands of the Bahamas and how accessible DC is to the Bahamas and how accessible the Bahamas is from DC. 2 times a day, non-stop flights direct from DCA to Nassau, and an opportunity to hop to the other islands of the Bahamas.
We have great connectivity from this area into the destination. There's American to Ronald Reagan, there's Dulles with United, and then Baltimore, there's Southwest, so connectivity is certainly there. We find that this market leans into the destination for everything that it has to offer, from our groups and conferences, meetings, to the luxury component, to the outer islands. The islands of the Bahamas just has everything to offer and certainly very attractive to the DMV area. It's not just one island, it's a lifetime of islands. And it will take you a lifetime to truly enjoy the islands of the Bahamas. Very excited to be here today.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
The need for school counselors to be a steady presence in the lives of their students, a call being made for this sector to be more than advisors.
Plus, FEM STEM Bahamas preparing to take on the world. Those details straight ahead.
Also, students at Nassau Christian Schools get a fully refurbished library. Stay close for that.
And in sports, the championship matchup set in the 42nd Hugh Campbell basketball tournament.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening on this chilly Monday. I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. Now today, February 23rd, is International Dog Biscuit Appreciation Day, which means if your dog has been extra patient and not doing too much begging lately, today might be the day you spoil them with a new treat or their favorite biscuit.
It's just a light reminder that even the simple things, a little reward, a little gratitude can go a long way, especially as we begin a new week.
Absolutely. And tonight we'll be exploring themes of leadership and shaping the future right here at home. But for now, let's dive right into the news. Last week, Bahamas Association of School Guidance Counselors Biennial Conference highlighted the growing concerns these professionals encounter with their students, and that includes their mental health and socioeconomic pressures. Association President Jamia Pratt-Ramming described the overall turnout as a success, underscoring that today's school guidance counselors must be more than advisors, but a steady presence in the lives of young people navigating complex realities.
Because of the different nuances that happen with each generation, we have to keep abreast, not just with technology, but with current trends. I feel that it's necessary for as often as possible counselors to get together to be educated about the different things that affect the well-being of our students. We definitely need more training, and the association realized that there was a deficit, and therefore we stepped up to the plate.
Thankful for the support from the conference sponsors and continued endorsement from the Ministry of Education. The association values this collaboration, which strengthens youth support systems across the country.
So our planning, we kind of put our sponsorship on hold because the life of the children and the expectations of what needs to be done to ensure that they are successful and that they are heard takes precedence. So the sponsorship from Corporate Bahamas as well as our international partners make it able for us to put on these professional development opportunities to ensure that counselors are not disenfranchised and to ensure that we are able to make an impact in the lives of the children that we are entrusted to care for.
A group of Bahamian young ladies proving that innovation has no age limit. All a part of the FEM STEM program, they are now preparing to represent the Bahamas on the international stage at the STEM Olympiad in the United Kingdom this June.
School program started from last year, September. So from September to now, they have been working on their prototype. They just resumed to prepare, like I said, for the international competition. Essentially what the product is, or the project is, them basically reusing plastics to create a smart cane for persons with visual impairment. So as a part of our after-school program, we taught them STEM-based skills to prepare for this actual competition, but also so that they can solve a real-world problem for persons with disabilities.
The FEM STEM program has been equipping young ladies with skills in science, technology, engineering, and math, which will now take them overseas through their hard work and dedication.
So they have countries from all over the world, and this is the first time we will be there representing the Bahamas and competing. Our goal is not only to represent, but to win. And so we hope that we'll produce something that will be great enough not only to get the judges' attention, but also for the girls to be able to have as a viable business for themselves, a viable product for themselves. Like I said, solving real-world problems through STEM.
Students at Nassau Christian Schools now have a vibrant new space to learn thanks to a fully refurbished library. The makeover, complete with new books, computers, and study resources, was generously donated by Ados Group Holdings and the Berkeley School based out of Tampa, Florida. NCS Principal Lisa Miller says she's more than pleased with the library's breathtaking transformation.
But we want to thank the group of students whose parents have made a special sacrifice for them to be here with us. And they brought precious gifts as well. So not only did we get a refurbished library, but we got some computers, we got furniture I'm seeing in there, absolutely lovely, brand new furniture that you are going to take very good care of, yes? All right.
The donation was a perfect example of camaraderie, giving students more incentive to embrace the power of reading.
Reading will take you to new places. Reading will help you understand people who are different than you. Reading will open your minds to any possibility. So I want you to know, we believe in the power of a book to make changes and open any world to anybody.
By opening your doors, you gave us opportunity to work together to strengthen your library and invest in something that lasts far beyond today. Opportunity.
How excellent. Still to come, we're talking about the Church of God of Prophecy's Empowerment Conference, and Diane Dorsett has it with your Access weather forecast, so stay close. Caught it in time.
Over 100 CC Sweeting Senior High School students were recognized for their academic achievements during an honor roll assembly held recently under the theme Unlocking Potential, Celebrating Success.
Honorees, today we celebrate you. Your achievements remind us that when we set goals and remain focused, success is within reach. May this moment inspire you and all of us to continue striving, growing, and unlocking our fullest potential.
Clint Watson, General Manager of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, delivered an empowering keynote address.
Today, the school ought to be commended because you are achieving greatness in our country. You are making yourself a conduit for blessings and people who will make the Bahamas greater.
Speaking from personal experience, Mr. Watson offered his own life challenges as a testimony to inspire the collective student body, particularly those who fell short of the honor roll.
While I want to say some fine words to these academic achievers, I don't want to ignore the rest of you that are here today, because sometimes we define success by those who achieve high, not recognizing that for some, being able to be present is success all by itself.
John Lee McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Step into any Super Value or Quality Supermarkets location for great specials like Devon corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.29. Jacquard vegetable oil, 40 ounces, $4.49. Pearl Milling pancake mixes, assorted 28 ounces, $4.99. Sweet cantaloupes, 2 for $5. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.15 per pound. From store to store, no one saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Some burgers are simple. The Barbecue Crispy King, this one goes all in. Smoky barbecue sauce, crispy bacon, flame grilled beef, stacked high flavor in every bite. In Nassau, we don't do small, and we definitely don't do boring. And when morning hits, the Breakfast Barbecue Crispy King has that bam to start the day. Burger King Nassau, triple down on big flavor.
It's a good Monday evening, the beginning of a brand new and chilly week. Probably exciting news for some, but before you pull out the fur boots and turtlenecks, let's take a look at what's shaping our Access weather forecast. Our satellite picture shows clearing skies as the cold front moves southeastward out of the area, leaving behind a cold and dry air mass which will drop temperatures into the 40s and 50s in parts of the northwest Bahamas tonight and tomorrow. Now, turning to your boating forecast, for all areas tonight, winds will be northwest at 15 to 25 knots, seas at 5 to 8 feet. Therefore, small craft operators are advised to exercise caution. There will be a high tide at 12:41 in the morning. For boaters in the northwest Bahamas, tomorrow winds will be northwest at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll experience a low tide at 7:11, followed by a high tide at 12:56 in the afternoon. For those in the central and southeast Bahamas, winds will be northerly at 15 to 20 knots, with seas at 4 to 7 feet. Small craft operators are therefore advised to exercise caution. Finally, for boaters in the northwest Bahamas on Wednesday, winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll experience a low tide at 8:22 on Wednesday morning, followed by a high tide at 2:06 in the afternoon. And for those in the central and southeast Bahamas, winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas at 4 to 7 feet, and that small craft advisory will still be in effect. Now it's time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Lord, where you think this man is, man? All day I've been home with these little baby kids. I need me to hit. Well, anyway, I gonna fall down the road to see me down. This place down the road. And if you down there, it could be some problems. But guess what? I got a headache and I tight man. Every other night, Andrew would come round.
That was your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your Access weather forecast. Royson, Marlena.
Thank you so much, Diane. Now, the Church of God of Prophecy's Empowerment Conference is right around the corner, March 11th through 15th. To tell us more tonight, we're joined by conference host Bishop Woodley Thompson and Vice President of Investments for CFAL, Pamela Ferguson. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Excellent, glad to have you. Can we start off with the big picture and telling us maybe what is the overall purpose of the Empowerment Conference?
Well, the purpose of this conference is to develop leadership. A lot of things that happen in society, it falls to leadership. And so what we want to do is to make the leader better. So if you want better on an individual level, if you want better on a group level, if you want better in your business, your church, this conference is for you.
Love that. All things leadership, of course. When we're talking about the approach taken with this one, I understand there's some new elements and maybe taking a steering away from the traditional methods of this conference. It's a little bit different this time. I want you to talk about that too.
It's different in the sense that we've moved it to the Bahama Convention Center, and we've brought in a number of key speakers who will address various areas of their expertise to help empower those persons who would be present to move to a higher level and to make a greater impact in their particular sphere of influence.
Interesting. Now, Ms. Ferguson, I want to ask you, given your role of investments at CFAL, I want to ask you, how is it important and why is it so significant for the corporate world and investment world to be a part of this conversation about leadership, faith? and the future of the Bahamas?
Well, it's about kingdom principles, and for me, kingdom principles are God's design for how life works best. And they're not mystical ideas, but operational standards, integrity, honesty, stewardship, accountability. All of these are principles that can be applied to our everyday life. It doesn't matter what industry, it doesn't matter whether you go to church or not, these are all important. And if we practice these principles in our personal lives, in the corporate environment, in the church, in the community, in our country, then we'll have stability and success.
That is absolutely incredible. Who is this conference geared towards, and what is the hopes of what we should get out of it in terms of the outcomes?
Well, we're looking to invite all persons from any area of society because we believe that everyone has a bit of leadership in them. Absolutely. And we want to pull that out in any way that would make a benefit to the society. So we're inviting all persons to come. If you're in a church, if you have a business, if you're in an organization, we want you to come and be a part of this conference and to allow yourself to be empowered. What we're looking to do is to bring kingdom principles into your sphere of influence because we believe that that direction will make the country better. So it'll make you better, it'll make your organization better, it'll make your business better, it will make your church better, and as a group, it will make the Bahamas better.
Can you remind us finally how people can get more information and how they can sign up to attend?
Sure, you can go to the Church of God of Prophecy Bahamas Facebook page, and the registration link will be right there. Just fill out the form, and you can stop by the national office on Palm Tree Avenue, pay your registration, and you're good to go.
Good to go. I want to thank you so much for joining us at Access Now, and I'm wishing you all the best with the conference and, of course, beyond.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's time now to turn things over to ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap.
Sunday night was the Hugh Campbell Final Four. Cinderella continued dancing, and will we have a new installment of the Nassau-Freeport rivalry in the Hugh Campbell title game this evening? Find out in tonight's Sportscast.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
Imagine putting $25 gas in your car, scanning the QR code, and winning a whole cruise and so much more. Well, that could be you with the New Year, New Things promotion happening right now at Rubis. From now until March 27, spend $25 or more in fuel and win one of our amazing prizes such as $500 worth of Rubis gift cards, Fidelity prepaid Visa cards, BPL vouchers, a 3-night stay at the Margaritaville Hotel, a PS5, and we'll be sending a lucky person on a cruise. I can't wait to see what you win. It's New Year, New Things with Rubis. Don't forget, spend $25 or more, scan the QR code, fill out the form, upload your receipt, enter, and win. That's my boo. I ain't getting leave. I can see y'all on the cruise. Don't leave me, don't leave me.
It's 242 Day. Proud to be Bahamian. February 24th, 242 Day. Represent your Bahamian pride on 242 Day. Wear your national flag colors or Bahamian prints. Enjoy delicious Bahamian dishes, rake and scrape with Bahamian music, art, and entertainment all day long. Corporate Bahamas representing your national colors. Be sure to post those photos with hashtag 242 Day. Hashtag Celebrate Bahamas. 242 Day, February 24th.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. So the 2 teams for tonight's championship games already set in stone, but before then, on Sunday night, the Final Four taking place at the AF Adderley Gymnasium. On one side of the bracket, a GWSA rivalry renewed between the C.I. Gibson Rattlers and the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves. On the other side, the Grandmama champions, the St. George's Jaguars, taking on this year's Cinderella in the Queen's College. Comments? Let's take a look at the tape. First up, QC versus St. George's early in the first half. Jags on the break. Makai Nesbitt finding the cutting Daquan Joseph with the lefty finish. He had 14 on the night. QC on offense, this time Javon Missick with the triple here. He had 12 points. Comets hanging around with the Grand Bahama champs trailing only by 6 after 1. But 12 o'clock would strike early for the tournament Cinderellas. The Jaguars would catch fire from behind the arc. Shanto Curry with the 3 here. He had 8. Jags working the ball around the perimeter again. Alexio Penn this time nailing the triple. Makai Nesbitt again would find Daquan Joseph cutting in the lane for the easy 2. Second half action, Nesbitt with the floater in the lane. He finished the game with 16 points and 16 rebounds. And the Jags, they would get the steal, and Randy Miller would break out in transition for the two-hand bang-out that would mark the exclamation on the Jaguars' dominant win and punch their ticket to the second title game appearance in school history with the 71-45 win.
I mean, we're excited to be in the finals. This will be our second time ever in the finals. We were there in 2019 with that memorable game of that double overtime against Doris Johnson. And that loss propelled us to win the national championship that year. So hopefully, like I said, this year will be the year that we could put it all together and take it home. And we're just excited to be there.
Obviously, you mentioned loss in 2019. How much is that a motivating factor for your team's performance tomorrow? How much is that in the back of your mind to finally bring it home?
Now, me and the coaches, we've been there. So we remember. They don't remember. They're seeing like YouTube videos, but they don't know. So we still carry that pain, and what we try to is remind them, and some of former players who are in the group, we all in the group together, and they remind them about where we were at, and this is an opportunity that we can try to do it this time, and we're excited about the opportunity.
In the nightcap, it has become one of the bigger rivalries in local sports and perhaps the biggest in local high school basketball. Kevin K.J. Johnson and the C.I. Gibson Rattlers taking on his former player and now head coach in Anatole Rogers to Nico Bowles. There certainly was no love lost between the two squads. Wolves working the ball around the perimeter. Keegan Russell with the triple here. He had 7 on the night. C.I. big man Mario Roll getting some good positioning on the inside to finish strong for the easy 2. Monster game for him. He had 20 points and 13 rebounds. Anatole gets the steal, and Denagio Fowler makes this tough layup in transition. He had 9. CI back on offense. Darius Hanna with the crossover and step back fadeaway 3. He had 7 points in this game. Well, his mother named him Keyshawn, but the kids, they call him Clay, and just like Clay Thompson, he would swish this home from behind the arc. Keyshawn Dean with several clutch baskets down the stretch for the Rattlers to help them advance to their 3rd straight Hugh Campbell title game with a 57-49 win.
We played hard. We went over our game plan. First of all, I just want to thank God for the opportunity to coach these young men. And, very young team, but they understand what it takes to get to this point. I thought it was a very good team, very old guys, not old in age, but they're mature. I have a young team, a lot of 11 and 10 graders. And to put them out there to execute like the way they did, hats off to them. Of course, Darius and Mario is seniors, but at the end of the day, they took this team to victory today, and to God be the glory.
The Nassau-Freeport rivalry will be renewed tonight as the St. George's Jaguars will face the C.I. Gibson Rattlers at 9 p.m. in the title game at the Kendall G. Lozic Gymnasium. And, of course, that game will be carried live on the ZNS television and radio networks. In the college basketball news, Yolette McPhee-McCowan and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels, they would fall to the number 3 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks on Sunday, 85-48. Christina Waller would lead the Rebels with a double-double. She scored 12 points and 10 rebounds. The Rebels would manage to hang with South Carolina through the first quarter despite an early deficit, but Dawn Staley's squad proving to be just a bit too much. Coach Yo speaking post-game.
Yeah, I just thought it was a great environment. South Carolina is very good. I thought that we had some chances to do some things when I think the score was 24-20. And I remember there were a couple championship plays, loose ball plays, and they came on the winning side of it and started their run, and I felt like it was a snowball effect from there. But we're going to definitely use this opportunity to watch film. I'm really excited to see that, rest up, and then move forward.
And that's all the time we have for you for sports on this Monday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Financial.
We're BAF General and Health Insurance.
Welcome to the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Come on in to Cash and Go.
Need technical support? We are BFG Services.
BAF Global. Global reach, local care.
At We Buying Sell, we help you upgrade your home the smart way, from solar panels and solar lights to strong doors, storm-ready windows, tiles, mirrors, vanities, faucets, and more. Everything you need is right here under one roof. Great quality products, great price, and fast, friendly service every day. Visit us on Robinson Road or send us a message on WhatsApp 242-636-8412 or shop anytime at wbusbahamas.com. We buy you sell. Upgrade your home today.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, and Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
You're looking at a shot from atop our studios here on Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, courtesy of drone pilot Shane Gibson Jr. And it's time now to take a trip to Andros. Let's go.
U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker traveled to Andros recently, placing early diplomatic focus on an island long embedded in U.S. Bahamian Security Corporation. Home to the Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center, AUTEC, a U.S. Navy installation central to decades of defense collaboration between NASA and Washington, Andros occupies critical terrain in regional maritime strategy and joint surveillance operations across Caribbean waters. The ambassador's visit, his first known trip to the island since assuming office in December, was hosted by Member of Parliament for Central Mangrove Key and South Andros, the Honorable Leon Lundy, the Minister of State with responsibility for disaster risk management. The delegation also toured the Central Andros High School, visited a local clinic, met with residents, and stopped at a voter registration drive.
And it's now time for Let's Talk Socials with Matea Stewart.
Ever feel like life completely changes the moment you become a parent? Matea here for Let's Talk Socials, and today we're talking about a couple that's going viral for doing something most new parents wouldn't even dare to try. Picture this: a tropical getaway, crystal clear waters, soft sand, and a newborn. Yes, a newborn. While many parents are still adjusting to sleepless nights, diaper changes, and trying to figure out a new routine, this couple packed their bags and headed off on vacation with their tiny travel buddy.
My drink is done, but for those saying you can't travel when you have a baby, that is not true. Far from the truth. We're doing it now with a 2.5-month-old. She over there crying, but at least she crying in the Bahamas. Rich laugh. Yeah.
You here with us in the Bahamas with mommy and daddy? Yeah. You are.
Now, let's be real, traveling with a newborn sounds stressful. You're thinking about feeding schedules, nap times, sun protection, meltdowns in public. It's a lot. Most people would say, we'll wait until the baby's older. But here's the twist. They're in the Bahamas. And something about being here, surrounded by ocean breeze, familiar culture, good food, and that easy island pace, makes the experience feel lighter. And honestly, it's a reminder that parenthood doesn't have to mean pressing pause on joy. Of course, every family's different. What works for one might not work for another, but this couple is showing that with planning, support, and maybe a little island magic, you can embrace both the baby phase and the beauty of where you travel. Because if you're going to attempt your first trip with a newborn, the Bahamas might be the best place to do it. And that's what's hot in socials. I'm Matea, and this has been LTS.
A sweet family.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're
Perfect.
so cute.
Especially right ahead of 242 Day. But I got to work on my rich laugh in the meantime. That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. Before we go, we want to wish Melanie Woodside a very, very happy birthday.
And many more. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for the Rundown with Howard Grant.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Every second matters. Every possession counts. The road to glory begins here. Tune into live coverage of the 2026 U Campbell Basketball Championship, Monday, February 23rd at 9 p.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network and streaming on our YouTube and Facebook platforms.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! With his first shot. We don't like basketball.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, it's in the inner city and persons who really include and so much have lost their jobs. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything. You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
When I first introduced the program to them, some of them was reluctant at first that I don't know about agriculture, I don't know anything about farming.
The young man mentioned trauma that they experienced, that they saw the gardening as an escape.
So we need to ensure that our young men are exposed to initiatives that could improve their skills.
That's Taking Social Services to the People, Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. on ZNS Television.
Riding a motorcycle requires a heightened sense of awareness, strength, and better coordination than driving a car. It also involves increased risks and more maneuvering skills. Motorcycles are not as easily seen as a car or trucks. Other motorists, particularly those who don't ride a motorcycle, may not be looking for motorcycles in traffic. This places the motorcyclists at risk, particularly at intersections. Here are a few tips supplied by the Royal Bahamas Police Force to ensure a safer ride. Always ensure that all persons are equipped with fitting helmets and other motorcycle safety gear like effective eyewear. Ensure that the motorcycle is licensed and insured and both license plates are properly secure on both front and back. Do not pop motorcycles, especially when on a busy road or intersection. It impairs your line of sight and your ability to swerve will be delayed. Be alert when riding and be mindful of road conditions, especially when overtaking. Always inspect your motorcycle before every ride to ensure your vehicle is fully operational, especially tires and braking systems. Be sure to be well informed about bike hand signals and other safety procedures. Along with this freedom comes responsibility, but all the risks involved can be managed through training and education. Let us drive safe and share the road. I am Corporal 3599 Camille Johnson, reminding you that safety is everyone's responsibility.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal, at the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities.
at the Lyndon Bindling International Airport. I'm Corvell Pyfrom. This is ZNS.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rundown with Howard Grant. It is absolutely wonderful to see you. We're winding down at the end of the month. I'm hoping that you got over your kind of your lover's time. The 14th's gone. Today's the 23rd. It's wonderful to be here with you. Always being able to talk about these things. We have a great show in store for you today. Now, in that show, I'm one of the persons that continue to be able to kind of travel through social media, especially during this particular time, and identifying what I believe is persons who are prepared to be able to take the country to the next level. I've been watching certain parties and constituencies with great, got my eyes on them, just trying to make a determination as to whether or not they have what they present to have, what they claim to have. I'm listening to their language, their posture, their position, and I looked at a specific, now I don't want to get in people's business, but I just want to have this conversation with you. I looked at a specific constituency, and in that constituency, I have this great expectation for being able to see something that's outside of our country, that's outside of our space, that's something that can be brought in, that has this sort of a duality and be able to show us something a little different. As I look at that, there seems to be a morphing, there seems to be a shaping, there seems to be a contorting into the constituency's mindset or into the traditional mindset that exists in our country. Why would we want to prepare ourselves to be pothole MPs? Let's be decent with that. Now, we know that we've struggled with significant issues. We know that we have great expectations from our governments and all those subsectors responsible for being able to ensure that maintenance and infrastructure is taken care of. However, this idea and this season that we're in right now, as we look around the world, as we look around what's happening right now in Mexico, as they erupt as a result of a murder that was happening in this particular space. As we look around the world and make a determination as to exactly what's happening, we have to look within. And in looking within, there needs to be a vision that's actually cast, a concept and an idea that you can be able to hold on to for growth and development. This casual conversation about the possibility of being able to patch a road here and there has to stop. We're going to be talking about that today. And in talking about that, I want to be able to let you know that I brought my guys on. We're also going to be talking about Grand Bahama a little today also. We saw some information come out to indicate that, the Concord-Wilshire deal fell through. The government came back and actually spoke about that. So we're going to talk about that from that particular perspective. But joining me today, all the way from the future, right here at ZNS, is none other than Adrian Francis. So he's going to be with us today, being able to dive into those conversations. I want you to join us and dive in. I want you to be able to get in those comments and be able to put your information in there so we can all know where we stand with this. I want to take this quick commercial break, guys. When we get back, we can dive into it right after this.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
With our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, Let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their community.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Cash Primary School Boys Club of Excellence program
is a very beneficial program to the boys because when they are here, I have seen some of our most troubled boys turn around.
We selected a school where you can make an impact from an elementary stage. The program is really to give the young men an outlet to do something different.
There are more times that every child is not academic. They are also technical. And this is one of the clubs that helps to push that because education is very important and we need to bring more people in to encourage our children.
We want to show them that this is a life that they can live. They're exposed to men in the community that are all about making young men better. Crime-free
looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Welcome back to The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. We're here with you on this beautiful Monday evening. Hope you guys had a great weekend and being able to talk about those things. Now, in the thick of this political season, now simultaneously, you know that we're wrestling. Well, we can't say wrestling. You know that we are in the Lenten season also. And during this particular season, a lot of persons have taken on this position. The Free National Movement has indicated that we will be campaigning, but we will do so respectfully. And we're looking at a great deal of things that are taking on this kind of a position. And so we here wanted to be able to have a respectful conversation, but not just the typical, stereotypical concepts and ideas that exist here. We wanted to talk about ideas for growth and development. Now, just through observation today, like I said to you, I've had an opportunity to be able to look at people's social media and just kind of swinging through it. And I'm watching persons take on this kind of a posture and position to be able to talk about potholes. Granted, the thing big as a jacuzzi, we're not going to fight you. Granted, the thing, you could put a Mini Cooper in it. We're not going to fight you. But the conversation has to be able to shift from just merely being able to fill these particular spaces and to fill the hearts, the hopes, the expectation of the Bahamian people. Joining me in that conversation today is none other than Adrian Francis, who's here with us. Adrian, my brother, grateful that you joined us all the way from the future.
It's good to be, you know, when you guys are in the past and when you're in the present, I only come to check y'all and make sure y'all are okay.
Well, we're good. Praise God.
You're good. Listen, man, thank you so much, Howard, for bringing me back into space. I honor even the original of the space, Clint Watson, and what he basically did in this space. I want to thank God for his life and what he's been able to do to make an impact.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this now. Let's take this time to be able to talk about this. Like I said before we got onto the show, the concepts and ideas of what we're doing is really being able to find out whether or not our members of parliament or the potential members of parliament, the ratified candidates, are prepared to be able to take that step into the direction that the Bahamian people require, that the Bahamian people need. Now, the difference between what is needed and what is wanted is a superficial thing. Wanted is just superficial desires that we can be able to attain, but need is a deep thing that we have not taken our time to really be able to focus on. The Bahamian people are in the position that we need something right now, and we don't know whether or not anyone who's coming with a traditional concept of politics could give us that. Talk to me about it.
The challenge is, why would you get into a game? Why do you go in a race?
To win.
People go to win. If it means patching a pothole, and that could cost you win, patch a pothole. You don't go into a game to fancy yourself and to worry about the talks in the social media, cues, and what people say left or right. Listen, only in Miss Bahamas and in pageants is being light rated. Being light, for the most part, is overrated. You have to do whatever you can to win.
Is it about being liked, though? Is it really about being liked? The conversation that I want to have is not really about being liked. It's about being able to be liked.
Yeah, here's the challenge. I believe that there ought to be a sovereign vision.
Yeah.
And there's a macro approach that parties take when it comes to electoral process. And there have to always be a one narrative approach when it comes to campaigning. You in the micro, for example, you mentioned the Gardeners constituency with Mr. Fox Rick doing his thing in Garden Hills.
I never mentioned him.
yeah, you talk about someone.
It was him.
Yeah, and so the obvious fact is this, right? There ought to be a macro approach in what a party wants to achieve. That message comes from the party. That has to filter down. The narrative must then filter down to every individual candidate. And if the candidate cannot follow a macro visionary approach, then they begin to do their own thing. What is the major message or messaging that the party wants that filters down to the individual candidates? And so if I say, in essence, to the Free National Movement, let's say their vision is to ensure that all roads are paved, right? If that is their vision, whenever I knock on your door, if there's a pothole, my messaging is going to be, you could live for the next 25 years to ensure that there will never be a pothole or a bad road in your constituency. That's the messaging. But there cannot be a disconnect between what it's saying corporately and what it's saying in the local.
So let's get to that. This is not, I don't think that there is a disconnect. I think that traditionally the Bahamian people, and you and I have spoken like this before, that historically the country has been, our forefathers have taken on the task of being able to identify the necessity for being able to ensure that there is growth and development from a tangible standpoint. So the tangibles, they got to put the infrastructure in, they got to put the roads in, they got to put the towers up, they got to do this, they got to do that, they got to connect the Bahamian people. This was the tangible thing that our forefathers have done. Every generation since them has only dealt with the tangibles. Even right now, the conversations that you will dive into over the next few weeks before the general election will be, what have you done? What have you brought? What have you this? And it's not about the intangibles. The macro approach may be a tangible message, but I'm asking you whether or not the Bahamian people requires an intangible approach that can be able to change the mindset for the new generation, the new concept for the country going forward.
I'll tell you, culture travels. And through the ages, culture has traveled with us, where if I'm representing the constituency of being in Grantstown, there's some needs that they would have outside of the need that they would have in St. James. And there are persons who are thingsy, and they need some things. I have family members who jokingly at the family event the other day said, I can't wait for my MP to see me because I can need this. And they can need, and they really don't need it, but they're joking about it. And the reason why they say we can need this or we can need that is because for the most part, by culture, we've become almost election beggars. We become election beggars.
That's crazy what you're saying.
Yeah, we become election beggars.
You proven my point from a macro standpoint. If the political organization understand that you are an election beggar, that you are a proverbial slug waiting for me to be able to give you something, not in a bad way.
No,
this is what we say.
It could be in a bad way, but go ahead.
Okay. If you are in this posture, anything I deliver to you, you got to accept that.
You know, again, you talk about mindset, and the reality is that when you start to think about building a nation, I went from FDI, Foreign Direct Investment, to OYI. How do you teach people to walk in a path of OYI? Own your identity, own your islands, own your industry, own your investments. Whenever you're messaging that kind of a message, that creates a new mindset.
But that message supersedes the message even of our Constitution, even of our independence, even of our position.
Yes.
We are not people who own. We are people who've been prepared for 12 years while we're in school. Even as infants, we've been prepared to work. My son asks me, Daddy, how do you get a job? He's 7 years old. Daddy, how do you get a job?
And that's part of our challenge, because the word jobs, I think C. Allen Johnson told me one time.
Just over broke.
Just over broke suckers.
Just over broke.
So people just want jobs. We're going from picking cotton, someone said, to folding cotton towels.
You still got cotton.
Still got caught.
One way or another, you get the cotton mixed
up. The bottom line is, what do you want to own? And our culture is such that, and I'm trying to drive Bahamians from BTG Square. And BTG Square is short for Blame the Government Square. If it's going to be, it's up to me. I wake up 6 o'clock every morning of my life, 5 o'clock most times, and I'm going over documentaries online. I'm studying what's going on in Russia. I'm studying what's going on in the Ukraine. I'm reading and studying every day. I found out a long time ago, if I don't read, I can't lead. I said, I don't want people to tell me anything. I want to research it for myself. I made a decision I want to do better. I cringe in my spirit when I see young men. 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, they were already began to congregate, smoking weed or drinking. I cringe.
At 6 o'clock in the morning?
I cringe.
So where do you live?
I'm telling you, if you know our culture is such that people have decided that they're going to move first thing in the morning straight into the Chinese bars. We've gotten to a place where...
At 6 o'clock in the morning?
You have no... I won't call them I won't call them brother names. I won't do this so bad. I can't call Bernie... I can't call Bernie name, but...
You're burning?
But the reality is that you get to the place where this thing has become our culture. How do you break this, Howard? How do you escape normal? Because that's what you're asking now. You have this normal has to be broken on this foundation. Other than that, you're going to wake up every day and an MP is going to come to your house and you're going to expect them to work miracles for you. It does not happen. You cannot live your life for 30 years living a certain way and expect for someone to make a miracle for you to get you out of your challenge. You can't have 5 children and expect for an MP to come and take care of your 5 children. You don't need an MP. You need Simon Wilson.
Yeah, but
you need a hold on, man. You need a line item in the government budget.
Jesus God. This is too much, right? Well, I want to be able to, when we get back, I want to talk a little bit more about this because the truth is that this is a relentless conditioning. And if it's not going to be broken from an external standpoint, and no political organization has it wrapped in their proverbial line budget items, then when will this be broken? When will we as a people stop running after this sort of a concept?
It's a slavery mindset.
It's just a slavery mindset, and we got to stop about it. Guys, we're going to take this quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to be able to dive a little bit more into this conversation right after this.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andros has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andros. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SBDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
Back at Little Caesars and good. Our popular Chicago-style pizza is back for a limited time only. Enjoy this delicious, thick, buttery crust pizza that's packed with layers of cheese, meats, and veggies for just $18. That inclusive. Now available at all 5 of our locations. Little Caesars, Oaksville, Carmichael Road, East Street, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and One East Plaza.
Pizza. I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking? You ain't even know where to park. Okay, just don't park in the... Look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park him. Don't park him. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park him on the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad, big bro. And he got a sticker inside that say this mod, though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
back. This is Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. We're having good conversations, just talking about this and really trying to be able to dig past the traditional concepts, and that's what you're going to see with me. I understand the traditional rhythms that exist in this particular place. I understand the talking points. I understand the concepts and ideas that have existed long before us. And I do understand the fact that you just want to be the first past the post. However, there is a burning desire for me to be able to see change, growth, and development in my country. That's it. That's it. I want to be able to see our people have a very clear understanding that there's a path that we must take. A path that's wrapped in your pledge, a path that's wrapped in the national anthem, a path that we've pledged our allegiance to far before we had a very conscious understanding of who we are. And all this is trying to be able to get back to that. I'm sitting here with Adrian Fanchos being able to talk to us about these things. We just started off with whether or not we're looking to be able to have another member of parliament being able to just be like a pothole pirate and just being able to say to us, these are the issues that we're dealing with when there are some intangibles that I believe, it's just personal now, I believe that they have the reach, physical, literal, and otherwise, to be able to change some things right where they are. Now, that may not necessarily be the most attractive thing. It may not necessarily mean victory today. If this is the path for victory and this formula has worked before, I work in the formula.
First past the post.
That's all. But it cannot only be first past the post, maybe.
Here's the thing, right? I believe there are some basic skills that has been offered recently, right? If you're looking for a job, the less the skills, the more the bills. The less the skills, the more the bills, right? So here comes this administration, for example, they introduced a program called Upskills. I think it's a tremendous program. Why? Because I know the individuals who come to my private company where we supply employees and talent for other companies. I know that the greater challenge I have is finding skillful individuals to go to work. And so you introduce an upskill program, for example, through the Department of Labor. It's a tremendous idea. Why? Because you know there's a skill deficiency that Atlantis and whether it's the hotel industry or the other industries that are in demand. And so what do you want to do? You want to get persons prepared for the workplace. Now, should upskill start from the school system? The word education does not mean to pour in. It comes from a Latin word, educo, means to pull out. So we have to find out where the giftings are in these places, in these constituencies. What I would do, if it were me running for a constituency, if there's a 10-member cabinet, for example, I would find persons in the constituency. I would create a mini cabinet in my constituency.
But that's all the conversation I wanted to have with you today. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to talk about any specific person. I wanted to talk about a mindset.
That's fine.
See, a mindset requires you to be able to have vision. What you're speaking of right now is vision.
I have to take whatever my...
You got to use what's in your hand.
What's in your hand. And so if my party says, for example, let's say, for example, the Progressive Party use something called a blueprint for change. I'm going to take the macro blueprint for change. I'm going to make it a micro concept.
In my constituency. But this is people who just work. That's do.
That's work.
That's work.
And so I'm going to have
But that's what you hire me to do.
I'm going to have a section of my community that deals specifically with sports, culture,
and you identify someone in your community
who handle all of those various concepts.
Who is a sportsman.
Yes.
Oh my God, we've known you up and down. You've been playing flag football. You've been doing this. I want to empower you in this particular position. And you give them an opportunity.
So,
whether or not they...
That's right.
FEM, PLP, COI, independent, that don't matter.
You have to reshape the community as a result of doing so. You want a ministry, you want a national security person. That means in every community, there should be a security watch.
That's it.
In every community, there should be a security watch.
That's it.
And that security watch. And so
you create neighborhood watch. You identify those things.
In every
you make
community.
A determination of. I do not understand. There has been a relentless conversation, and we're going to go in a different direction, but there's been a relentless conversation about the fact that, you don't need to be able to bring local government in Nassau, you don't need to do these things, but you're not performing in this particular capacity, not the way that the local governments are performing in the Outer Islands. Now that we're saying to you, hey, listen, if you're in this position, if you're in this space, we expect you to work. But we don't see that, Adrian.
The challenge we have, man.
We don't see that.
Scripture says that fools die sometimes for the lack of counsel. The word counsel comes with the word count. It means to tabulate. Make sure 1 and 1 is 2. And whenever you decide to become a member of parliament or become a pastor or whatever your profession is, you have to ensure that it makes sense. You cannot get to a situation where great leaders simplify complicated things. You only live to simplify it. If it becomes complicated, check your leadership.
Then you're not the leader that you claim to be.
You have to simplify. You know, there's a scripture where John the Baptist already had his head taken off, was getting to take his head off from Herod. He got involved in a family dispute, and they were getting ready to take John the Baptist's head off. And he sent his disciples to ask Jesus a question, are you the one?
That's it.
Or should we look for another? And that's a question when it's time for you to go back to your constituency. Here's the question, are you the one? Or should we look for another? And so based on the fact that you would have had an opportunity to would have done some things, your history should always match your destiny. What you would have done in the past, David became king after he killed Goliath.
Yeah.
Not before.
Yeah.
He became king after he killed Goliath.
Yeah. And so, there's succession there.
Yeah, and so...
Because he only killed Goliath because he didn't kill lions and the bear.
Yeah, he went into the lions, won't take the sheep out. And so the question is, right, what have you killed? What have you done prior to? Because more times, you know, once you've been elected, you're only going to do...
perpetuate the same things that you've
done before.
Historically.
And so nothing new happens. Somebody says, show me what you do often, and I'll show you what you continue to do. And so the reality is this, you show me your habits, and I'll show you your habitation.
Wow.
The reality is very simple. We can make our constituencies better. There are some members of parliament I admire so greatly because they've become their constituencies. They've become it. They found out, I'm in a situation where I don't believe MPs should no longer tell constituents what they're going to do. They have to now ask people in their communities.
But there's enough mechanisms that they can do that, you know.
Yeah.
There are enough mechanisms that exist in this life now, via your smartphone, via the accessibility to be able to understand. You don't just have to stand up in the House of Assembly and say, the good people of this particular constituency have sent me, and that ain't necessarily so, because I don't know when we had a town meeting. I don't know when we had a community meeting. I don't know when you send an alert out, a notification to be able to identify these things.
I've never been a fan of rituals.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. The core of this conversation is not just rituals, the traditions that have taken us into, that has placed us in a position of non-productivity. This is a non-productive space. To have a conversation relentlessly about talking points that existed from 1973 within your political organization, it's not enough for the next generation of Bahamians. It's not enough for the new day of Bahamians. It's not enough for this sort of an unstoppable change together for Bahamians. It's just not enough.
You know, I believe that what is frightening to me, everybody seems to want to be in the Bahamas except Bahamians. That's starting to bother me. Everybody seems to want to be in the Bahamas except Bahamians. Well, first of all, I ain't going to Canada because I don't come with the sun to go check in their freezer. I don't think that anything can happen. So you got to understand, it's this, right? We're in the best country on earth. And I believe that there's this misnomer that governments do nothing. I think we have to stop this foolishness. Governments work really hard. I have never seen a blueprint, Howard. I have never in my life seen a blueprint to manage an archipelago. Never have I seen it. And so when I hear people say nonsense about the government has done nothing or that governments do nothing, I've never seen a blueprint that tells you that you have 14 airports or 15 airports that you get to control and understand exactly. And so what we need to do, we need to find a mechanism through which our archipelago is properly managed. We need to find out the value of Inagua and what Inagua brings to the corporate whole. We find out the value of Acklins and Crooked Island, what does Abaco bring to the whole. And once we find out what they bring, we have to now begin to...
But that's the concepts and ideas of why members of parliament should exist.
Of course.
So even though, like we started to have this conversation, the macro concept exists with whether or not that's a blueprint for change, whether or not that's your manifesto, whatever that is, that macro concept from your political organization has an overarching view to say that this is what we like to yield. each individual candidate, which is now 41 candidates, has to be able to execute that in their constituency. They are the proverbial governor general.
Yeah.
I would say that he's the prime minister.
I'll tell you.
They're the governor general.
Yeah.
And you need to ensure that the concept and the mindset that exists in the motherland, which is that is spread out throughout the colony.
Yes.
That is what needs to be done.
Exactly.
But we're not necessarily seeing that right now.
I'll tell you, the closest we've come to extracting from each island was the original Bahama Games. That concept represents, in my humble view, what has to happen across the board in our country. If we can get from each island individual athletes who show prowess and greatness, Buddy Hill nor BJ is from New Providence. One is from 8 Mile Rock or West Grand Bahama, and the other one from Bimini.
8 Mile Rock is fine. Go ahead.
And so I know every now and then you show every now and then you show off. But anyway, but VJ, Stevie Gardner, Moores Island. And so you have to understand that concept. If you can bring Stevie out of Moores Island, you can bring Fish out of Moores Island.
Well, let's take it back to that. Let's take it back. Bishop Neil Ellis always tells us a story of how he was found in Poggy Bay in Bimini. Ooh. He always tells the story of how Lyndon Pindon identified talent in Poggy Bay, and he was given an opportunity of a lifetime. And we know him. Now, this is God's hand on him, absolutely. But we know him as a result of recognizing talent. We do not have enough political, social, athletic scouts in this country. We have talent that's rimming over and has identified the world over. In coaches, in other spaces, they're doing things the world over, but locally, there's deprivation. And we still don't have the vision to identify that in the constituency. We're still talking potholes. Let's talk about this.
This bottleneck approach to how you rise has to stop. Because if I need 10 persons to know that I'm talented, it's crazy. You have, for example, wisdom sometimes in your presence. There's a Bible scripture that says, I've seen slaves on horseback while the true prince walk on foot. I've seen slaves on horseback while the true prince walk on foot. To put it in today's vernacular, I've seen greatness catching the bus while the slave may be in an empty car. The reality is that sometimes wisdom is disguised, sometimes even protected. I relish the fact that we've had leaders who came from right among us. Once you get through the gate, my good friend Craig Flowers always said, Sir Lyndon made millionaires. And sometimes some went through the gate and locked the gate behind them.
Well, just not some. There's a great deal of people who close.
And so we have to always remember that whatever gate is open for us is the law of access. We have to allow access to be for everyone. We just can't allow access to be for a few. And there are some persons who get access, who get in. And all of a sudden, they become very, very narrow-minded in their approach toward others. They create what is called cliques and circles.
I know.
And so what we have to do is, especially when we give the opportunity to lead, we have to be very, very careful to dismiss persons who can actually help us maintain our leadership. And I believe in this new dispensation of leadership, what's coming. You know, I say something on national television tonight. People get upset sometimes with Lincoln Bain and his messaging. And you know what I find amazing? 85% of what he says is true. It's the 15% of the stuff that he says. Most of the messaging is centered around Bahamians enjoying their country.
How we get on Lincoln? I just
No. It's the same concept we're speaking of because here's the thing, right? It's not Lincoln. It's the message. And if you watch all the other folly, you will find that it's literally about Bahamians finding themselves, enjoying their country. And he's become a voice for people who are discussing what we're discussing. How do you get in? How do you get in?
I like this.
How do you get in?
I like this.
Yeah, how do you get in?
We've lost access for some time.
Yeah.
We've lost access before the concept and idea of the vision has been released to the Bahamian public. We've lost access. After Lyndon Pinder would have been able to go over to Grand Bahama and start to talk to us about bend or break, after he would have come here and take on this kind of a strong position of being able to tell you whether or not if you want to be a part of the country, you got to fight for it, and give you those concepts, and indicating that he wanted to be able to see 1,000 millionaires in the country. Now, I don't disagree that he's actually done that. I think he has.
It has happened. It has happened.
But that particular spirit of expansion existed with him, and as he released it, they shut it off. There's so many persons in our country who shut off the concept and ran into the gate. They worse than Morgan Freeman and Lean on Me. You remember Morgan Lean on Me? Close the gate, close the gate. They worse than that. They've got into these particular spaces. They found themselves comfortable. They want to be able to see themselves posh behind the gates, behind these particular positions, and not afforded opportunity for talent that exists right at their fingertips.
But Morgan Freeman was better than Samuel Jackson and Django Unchained.
Who's that other guy? Right.
So at least you know the difference between the two black men.
Yeah.
The reality is this, though, and I say this because the closest I've seen is a Lyndon, and I don't say this because of no other reason. I believe it's the truth. When it comes to 11 people, you feel a Brave Davis. The closest I've seen to a leader who have the heart for people. People may not like Brave Davis, but they don't dislike him to his face.
I don't think they dislike him to his face, or do I hear the sentiment that they dislike him in the community?
I think with the
but I would say this, is liking him enough to take him over the top to victory.
I literally believe that.
I said, do they like him enough to take him over to the top of victory?
I said, and I do believe they do. Here's the stuff, right? Because you hear noise, it don't mean it's everyone. That's one of the things I've come to.
Yeah, but the empty barrels make the most noise.
Make the most noise. And one of the things I've come to in my life is this, right? I'm older now, Howard. And so I'm taking a more mature approach to a whole lot of different situations. I believe that anyone can manage a company without all the numbers. Everybody's an expert until they have the keys. And I find that the man has a weird sense of poise. I couldn't understand. And I've known him for many years.
Yeah.
But he have a weird sense of poise. I think the collective minds of our country, no one goes into Parliament and says, you know something, let me see how I can destroy my country. No one goes in with that mindset. There may be different versions of how you get to the final destination. Different messages and narratives. But the reality is that when you get to the place where you're in charge, heavy's the head sometimes to wears the crown.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that you shifted that kind of a conversation. I want to talk to you a little bit more about this. I am sure that we're up for a commercial break and we're going to be able to do that, but we got to talk about this. Most recently, we would have been able to see, when I woke up this morning, the first thing I did, after I was, give God praise for the opportunity to be here again, I dive into my telephone just to see if anybody called me, text me, so forth and so on. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
You addicted to your phone.
6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I did. Yeah. It ain't dope. Praise God. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, smoking dope.
You're addicted to your phone. They said you look at your phone.
If they smoking dope 6 o'clock in the morning, I can be on my phone. Let me be on my, don't fight me.
You're addicted to your phone. If you look at your phone within the 20 minutes of waking up, that's an addiction.
So, let's talk about this addiction then. It took me to a space where I always go to the news outlets to see exactly what's happened, check it out, and be able to identify those things. Today, Eyewitness News has released some information indicating that Concord, Wilshire, and a story that they actually put out this morning that I read. Concord, Wilshire, the deal fell through, right? And it has been like that for the past 4 months. And then before news time, earlier this evening, you would have been able to see the Office of the Prime Minister, more specifically Latrey, been able to put out some stuff, being able to refute that entirely. Then we would have identified and read some stuff directly from Concord, Wilshire, showing their enthusiasm and determination to be able to work with this and being able to ensure that they could find themselves for growth and development in the island of Grand Bahama. This is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, I want to talk to you when we get back from this commercial break as to whether or not this is the proverbial nail that is going to shut on one political party or another in Grand Bahama as we continue to be able to go forward. Let's take a quick commercial break, guys. We're going to get back. We're going to dive into it right after this.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC, Bahamas.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here just talking with none other than Adrian Francis, all the way from the future, right here at ZNS, being able to talk about these things. We're talking national growth and development. We're in the Lent season, so we want to go crazy about these particular things. I've invited some members of parliament, so you'd eventually see them coming in and being able to share their vision for their constituencies, not just the talking points. That's just what it is. I want to have a very clear conversation about growth and development. I want to have a clear conversation about being able to move forward, so I just want to do that, right? Well, like I said, I'm here with Adrian Francis, and we're talking about these things. When we left off at a point. He transitioned into leadership. He's transitioned into this sort of an idea that a lot of persons overlook the caliber and the quality of leadership that comes out of current leadership, which is Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, right? I don't necessarily disregard that, right? But more specifically, I want to be able to talk about Grand Bahama. Today, Grand Bahama was in the news. And so with him talking about leadership, we're talking about Grand Bahama. Concord Wilshire has refuted this sort of an idea entirely and said that that is ill-advised information, that's inaccurate information. They're still enthusiastic. They're still looking for a way forward. They still have this collective thoughts for growth and development for the Grand Lucayan. And this is an exciting thing. But does the sun rise and set on Concord Wilshire, and if they can perform in Grand Bahama for the PLP and or the Free National Movement? Talk to me about it.
I think there's a historical story behind it. You are a Grand Bahamian, and we have to be very careful to not take the history to match the destiny. And Grand Bahama has come through many storms. They've come through a history of challenges that they've been trying to beckon their way through. The government took a stance with Grand Bahama, not with just a hotel. It took a stance with Grand Bahama when it comes to the port itself.
Absolutely.
It took a stand against the port. They took a stand. They said, you know, they went back to Sir Linden. Bend or break, man. Essentially, yeah.
They haven't, now, they don't want to formally indicate that this is what we've done.
Yeah.
But the language,
the messaging,
the posture.
The posture is straightforward.
It is.
And so we have to be careful that we don't allow two nations to run in one country.
But the government, now hold on, before you go further, this administration has not challenged any, and I said this administration has taken on quasi-governments. Not only have they approached the Grand Bahama Port Authority, they've also done the same thing with unions.
Here's the challenge, Howard. At what point? Mm-hmm. At what point? On what rule? Because we're talking now about Concord. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the state of the hotel, and whether it's sold or whether the deal is sealed. Mm-hmm. The question is, the government, before Concord, in this decision, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, took a stand. And I'm not speaking for the government. But he took a stand. I watch this stuff. I do podcasts all the time. And the stand that he took was very, very simply, I need Grand Bahama back. I have to have, the people in Grand Bahama suffered, not because of us. What is the value?
And you know what's crazy?
What is the value the port has placed on Grand Bahama? If the port loved Grand Bahama so much, what input have you made with us in relationship to the sale of the hotel, the restoration of the airport? Port, tell me, what have you done? Because you're still taking some stuff out. I'm not sure how much money is going out. I don't know where the money is going. But Port, what have you done? What have you done, the Port? Tell us, what have you done? Do we have to come in now and intervene in electricity? Port, what have you done? Have you extended the Hawksbill Creek Agreement into further territories? Port, what have you done? And so when you come now and you ask the Port, tell us, what have you done? Have you honored the Hawksbill Creek Agreement? And if you haven't, now talk to me then.
But this is what I'm trying to say to you, and it only goes back to your point about the Prime Minister and not being viewed in the light of a progressive person who's actually making these particular decisions. That wasn't an easy decision.
That's right.
Freeport has been, or Grand Bahama has traditionally, over the past 30 years, committed themselves politically to the Free National Movement.
That's right.
In one state or another.
That's right.
And this Prime Minister could come in and give you all the promises in the world and say, vote for us, we can do this and do that, and give you some superficial change. But the changes that he's making, because I feel like I'm preaching now, I gotta calm down.
Look at
the changes that he's making is systemic, real changes for growth, whether he win or lose.
Yeah, and how would you
win, lose, or draw?
Look at
these are changes that's going to affect.
Places are moving back. People are moving back just because.
You keep saying that, but I don't know these people yet.
Okay, check Oasis. Some things are happening, right?
Yes.
Some things are happening, and I'm not preaching for them, for the PLP. But I'm giving you the realistic. When I go into an island, and I go on my own, I drive, I ask questions. I do podcasts from the islands. I want to know. Tell me for real what you're experiencing. Now, all of it's not cut and dry cherry, because people are hurting. In many instances, people are hurting. But what I'm saying is, when you go Concord, and the agreement with the hotel, you got to understand that there was a administration prior to who didn't know which hotel it was sold, where they got the golf course. There were some things that happened that left everything in shambles.
It was up in the air. They wasn't sure about what was.
It landed on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't stay in there.
Yeah.
And so now that you come and you give some real understanding of a deal that, and I don't know whether it's going to happen before or after the election, but the reality is the airport hung as part of a situation that was tied to the hotel. And once you would have corrected the airport situation, you obviously would have sealed the deal with the hotel. And so there were two mechanisms at work. The challenge is leaders know more than what they say. But they say less sometimes about what they know. And the reason why they do that is because wrong information, especially in the hand of a talk show host, could cause a fire. And so what you want to do is, you want to release a word fitly spoken. It's a golden apple on a silver tray. And so anytime the Prime Minister would have spoken, the minute he went to Grand Bahama, and he would have said to Grand Bahama, said to the port.
This is the second time this happened now.
Yeah.
This is the second time. The first time the information was released about Concord or about the airport in Grand Bahama and the lack of development, that came from the Deputy Prime Minister, if you remember this.
Go ahead.
The Deputy Prime Minister was indicating to us that some deals didn't go through on these particular things. The Prime Minister came right behind and actually been able to give clarity to some things that obviously was in the work. And now we're hearing yet again. I don't know why, and that's all the question is. Why is it this sort of a infatuated position that this deal on Grand Bahama will not fall through? Is it an election ploy? Is it an approach that they're going to be able to take on these particular positions?
The spin doctors out.
You want to be able to see that Grand Bahama fails for the purposes of being able to prop up your political party?
Can you imagine that?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
When you put your spin doctors out, right, to win Grand Bahama, and you know, the last iteration of leadership in our country saw that the past government, they had the Governor General, Minister of Grand Bahama, they had the Deputy Prime Minister, they had the Minister of Agriculture, turned the Ministry of Youth, they had somebody who became the Minister of Youth and Aram Lewis. I think they had the whole hog the last time. And having the whole hog...
It wasn't a whole, it was 3/4.
Well, I know...
It was 3/4 of the whole hog.
I tell you one thing, it was a pig. And so at the end of the day, you'll know that show me what you've done, and I can believe what you'll do.
Yeah, but the Grand Bahamian people, for the most part, and we're getting ready to be able to wrap this up, so I can let you talk for 2 seconds. but Grand Bahamian people, for the most part, have committed themselves to the Free National Movement, directly or indirectly. They've committed themselves to a particular mindset that existed way back in the day. They have not been able to deduce whether or not this government is good. We're even hearing coming out of Long Island, making a determination as to whether or not they should reconsider their position. Okay, all this is good. We're just asking you, are you going to...
the Parliament, you say?
I didn't say nothing.
I only asked you a question.
I didn't stop. What I'm saying to you is that persons that live in these particular spaces are now making a determination as to whether or not they are getting value for money. Who's that? That's the Free National Movement. Value for money. Are you getting value for money? This posture that the Prime Minister has taken to be able to fight these mammoth fights, these are Goliath fights that he's being able to take on with the Union, with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, with this sort of a concept and idea that exists with the power, and it's continue Grand Bahama, but he does it anyway, because this is the real strength of a leader. It's the strong stuff.
I do a show called The Future, my friend. We'll see what the future holds. I think the government wants Grand Bahama, and the Prime Minister sent a message.
Of course they want Grand Bahama.
They want Grand Bahama, and they don't want Pine Ridge.
Does Grand Bahama want them?
They don't want Pine Ridge and just West Grand Bahama.
Grand Bahama has to look beyond...
We talked about the hog just now.
Yeah.
We talked about the hog.
Yeah.
I think the Prime Minister wants the whole hog in Grand Bahama.
Well, they're going to have to look at their nose, look beyond their nose, and to make a determination. I'm talking about Grand Bahamians now. They're going to have to really, like the top of this show started off, you're going to have to make a determination to look beyond the rhythm. You're going to have to make a determination to look beyond the theatrics. You're going to have to make a determination to look beyond the talking points and understand whether or not your constituency, whether or not the man or the woman that's representing that constituency ratified can be able to give that vision, that's casting that vision for growth and development in that constituency. You're going to have to look at leadership and identify whether or not leadership can take us to where we want to go in the person of whether it's Michael Pintard or Philip Brave Davis or your good friend, Lincoln Bain. I just want to be able to say that. I want to thank you so much for being able to be here with us tonight, sir.
You are my... Listen, my power, thank you so much for inviting me again. I'll tell you, man, my best friend is not Lincoln Bain, and he's not my good friend either. But I thank God for the fact that he exists.
Praise God. Guys, that does it for the show this evening. The Rundown. Be sure you stay locked in right here at ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 o'clock. It is the final newscast in the country with the latest in news and information with Corvell Piper. For all of us here at ZNS, I am Howard Grant. Thanks so much for joining.
We play just like your kids. We text just